That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah, 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 yeah. You're a mean one, Mr. Schmidt. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Schmidt. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Schmidt. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You got garlic in your soul, Mr. Schmidt. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.
Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. I am trying not to make any sudden movements. Because I am here in the lair of one Lily von Stupp, who is primed and set for murder. She called me yesterday. All right, let's just a little backstory for you folks. This weekend, this upcoming weekend, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, I say that because you'll be hearing this on Thursday, is the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. Championed, created, put together, stitched together out of whole cloth by my good friend Lily von Stupp and her many friends who have gone ahead and contributed their time and efforts to help her. But it's her name that's on the line, and it's her credit cards that are being burned, and it's her money that's going into the fucking fire. So she is crazed as we hit the home stretch. And I can't blame her, because it is quite an undertaking. It is the work of her life. Unfortunately, she has to deal with dumbass on Wednesday who can't do this on his own. I even said to her, I go, can I put Audacity on my laptop? She goes, yes! Which was her way of saying, please do that so you don't have to come here and muck up the oldest building in Hollywood with the newest garbage in Hollywood. So I don't know, I can't, there's things I can't do. I can't joke with, all right, let's put it this way. She called me yesterday and she's like, hey, I just need to tell you this. Well, first of all, let me tell you this. My car broke down. And I said, but wait, isn't the festival this weekend? Because I don't know why I thought the festival would preclude any other bad things from happening. Like she would have some weird shield around her that made sure nothing bad happened to her the entire time that she was working or doing things, because the festival had to get done, folks, right? The festival. I think I just called it a festival. I think there was a B in that last one, maybe. So I figured, it was just full steam ahead and taking care of the fucking Hollywood Burlesque Festival. However, she called me yesterday and she's like, yeah, my car broke down. And I said, okay, well, what do you mean? She said, I think it's the alternator, but that was just repaired, so obviously it should be covered, but I'm trying to get AAA, and then AAA is going to tow me, but they're not going to tow me tonight. I'm having them tow me tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and rent a minivan. I'm going to keep that for a week, and I'm going to try to figure out exactly what I got to do, but I got to find a parking space. And I'm like, oh my God. You probably should slow down a little bit. And she's like, I can't. I'm revved up. My car's revved up, and I'm revved up. Because she was trying to start her car and it wouldn't start, so she called AAA. And then she finally got it to start, so she canceled AAA, and she just put her foot to the floor with gas in neutral. Like, the weirdest. And it's so funny. She's telling me the story. This is going to sound terrible, folks. But she's telling me the story. She had to drive. How far was it you had to drive like that? A block and a half.
That close to home.
Yeah, that's when the car died. But she had to drive a block and a half with basically full gas and putting it in neutral, never stopping, but having the foot on the brake and keeping it revved, like that sort of weird. Like she was basically challenging all of Los Angeles to a drag race at all times. Every time she pulled up to there was a guy on a bike, there were people on foot, there was a cop, and she just like fucking turned her head and she's like, well, you want to race for Pink's? Doesn't matter. She's racing for Pink's. She was actually outside of Pink's Hot Dogs and looked at them and said, you want to race for Pink's? So she's just got, and she's telling me this horror story about she's got her foot to the floor and she's revved up and she's driving and she's trying to get there, and then she's trying to find a parking spot, and she's on the phone with me as this is happening, and I hear like strange noises and crunching. She's like, that's my car. It's all revved up. And hold on. I think I found a spot, but I want to make sure my car doesn't die. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, this is awful. It's so bad. Like, and the thought that I had And she's telling me that. Again, I know she's driving her Nissan Maxima through the streets of Hollywood at high rev. And I just put 50,000 miles on I just went over 50,000 miles on my Nissan Murano. And I have my own stuff going on too, as you all know. We all know that. Everybody's got their own stuff going on. But all I could think was like, Lily and I are a team. We're kind of joined at the hip at this point. And I just thought, there has never been a larger four-fisted combination of failure in this town as there is me and Lily with our cars and all of our bullshit that we got going on. Because, I mean, look, her output and her work, the festival's going to be amazing, and I love this show and all that stuff, but when it gets right down to it, I go, I'm 46, and I'm sitting in my apartment eating leftover pizza on Thanksgiving. That's how fucking, it was a rough, I got beat up a little bit this week, folks, and Lily has too, because Lily is really trying to do something. I just got beat up because I'm, psychically, I'm all fucked up, but, and I'm a raw nerve at all times, and so is she. It's like, when I told her, because I'm helping at the festival, and I officially got word that I'm going to be off. So because I made sure that I was off to help her with the festival. So I called to tell her, I said, hey, look, whatever you need from me on Saturday and Sunday, I'm yours. Friday, I'm there Friday night. If you need me Thursday, in the evening, that's fine. And she just started crying. And she's like, thank you. I'm so glad somebody said yes for once. Now, if you hold on a second, I put my foot all the way to the floor like the Flintstones and run my car to my house. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I just wish there was that thing where you could wave your hand and make everything right and fix it. But, and then today we had a conversation. She's like, look, I got to bring my car in, but I think I'm going to wait until next week, and I'm going to go ahead and rent that minivan, and I'll make sure that I don't have to worry. I go, well, look, is it worth your peace of mind to spend that money? And she's like, yes. And I said, all right, then do it. Then you should just do it. But she knew that. That's the best part is she just called me, so I would just nod. Because, again, here's the thing. Women don't want you to fix anything. Women just want you to listen. That's one of the things that I did all the time with Karen was like she would tell me something, I'd be like trying to fucking fix it from the jump. I'd like try to leap in and go, hold on, this is what you should have done. Well, I don't want to know what I should have done, motherfucker. I want you to sit there and listen to what I did. That's what I want you to do. It's not your job to fucking swoop in with your cape and fucking fix everything, even though that's what I want to do all the time. And you know what's funny? I'm going to do that for everybody but me. I don't give a fuck about fixing my shit because I can't. My stuff's out of control. There's no way I can fix any of that bullshit. And it's not even anything. Really, there are people out there with larger problems, for fuck's sake. I just did a eulogy for a guy. I mean, like, he's got no problem. Well, fuck that. He's lucky. That guy's got no problems left. That dead dude is fine. He's totally off the hook. Dead guy is fine. His life is well, it's over, quite frankly, but so is all the bad stuff, right? I don't know. Maybe not. What if he's in bad hell? I was going to say bad hell. Why is there bad hell?
I'm going to good hell.
Dude, I totally want to go to good hell.
I'll meet you there.
I think I'm there. I won't lie. I think I'm actually in good hell.
You know what?
Huh?
That could be it. That makes sense.
Are you saying this podcast was directed by M. Night Shyamalan?
Ding dong.
Because we are in good hell and we never knew it, and now we just realized it. So I'm trying to remain quiet because also what Lily told me yesterday when she called, she's like, I have to tell you this, all right? I just want to make sure that this is out in the open because I know how you are. And by the way, folks, if you're ever going to have a conversation with somebody, don't preface it with, I know how you are, because that is not the good foot. That is not James Brown at all.
We had an I'm done situation.
A long time ago. And now that's, you know what? That's finished. We've passed that now.
To happen again.
It's not going to happen again, ever again. Because look at the feedback we got from people. They were so furious. So angry. Although there were more people who were angry about canoes and kayaks than they were angry about the I'm done situation. I got a lot of canoes and kayaks letters. I will not lie to you, folks. A lot of people canceling subscriptions and donations and online stuff, and we talked about that. You guys all know that. And then the very next week when I talked about it, they wrote me again to say, I can't believe you still talked about it. I can't believe you still listened. Why are you still around? I'm astonished that people stick around and listen to me after hating me 1 week. But by all means, please do. If you hate me, stick around. I'm sure eventually I'll hit something you like. Eventually I'll make some fun of something you want me to make fun of, right? Because it works the other way. Usually there's people who are on board for 6 years and then I make fun of the thing they don't like and they fucking disappear. Well, if you hate me, just listen every week because eventually I'll make fun of the thing that you also hate. And you'll be like, I'm a kindred spirit with this douchebag. Don't call me a douchebag, by the way. You're new to the show. So I'm sitting here with Lily and I don't know how to behave because yesterday, again, like I said, she called me to tell me about all of this stuff. But also she said, look, I have to tell you because I know how you are. I'm ready to lose it at a moment's notice. And I said, well, what does that mean? And she goes, I'm just telling you that I'm not good right now. I said, well, yeah, I mean, I get that. It's busy and you're worried about that. And she said, no, it's different. It's like a supernatural version of the way I usually am. So please understand that. And also, I need to tell you this. Because I know how you are. I said, look, we've established that you know how I am, all right? You've seen me once a week at least for the past 6 years, so it's clear that you know how I am. What could you possibly have to tell me now that's going to interfere? And she just goes, listen, I got to tell you this, because again, I'm fried and I'm weirded out, and all during the show I'm going to be getting text messages and I'm going to have to answer them, and all during the show I'll be getting phone calls and I will have to answer them. I know you want me there and you want me present in the show and you need me there, and that's fine. I will do what I can, but please know we are 2 days out from the festival and I have to fucking juggle all of these balls. I have to keep all of these plates spinning and get it fucking taken care of because it's my name that's on the goddamn line. I'm like, all right. Sounds like you are like I am right now. You're starting to rev a little bit. You need to throttle down. And she goes, well, I also got to tell you this. My period just started. And I mean, I don't even know what that means, honestly. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to take from that. Am I supposed to bring an umbrella? I mean, I don't know what you could possibly mean. Because again, I was anticipating also crazy Lily, business Lily to the nth degree, but I mean, I guess you throw a period in the mix, and I that's why I'm saying I'm not moving. I'm sitting here. I'm avoiding any sudden movements. I should have brought chocolate. Like I asked her, I said, do you want lunch? And she's like, yeah, I want a grilled chicken breast. And I'm like, all right, do you want any sides? And she's like, no. And I should have just gotten a fucking, like that 5-pound chocolate bar would have been for you. You and I could have Lady and Tramp that fucking thing. We could have Lady and the Tramp just fucking started from one end to the other and met in the middle. So that's where I'm at, folks. I don't know what to fucking do. Like, I don't. And as I've been talking here, she's gotten 3 text messages. Because, well, I should tell you, this is a late record. I got here a little late because I helped her. I had to pick up some stuff from a store. And then we walked in, and then she's been very busy taking calls and stuff. And also, I'm delaying because I had to record a eulogy for somebody a second ago. Which, by the way, before you do a comedy show, make sure you get your eulogy out of the way. That puts you in the mood to fucking crank it up and be funny. And here's something else I'll tell you, too, because the eulogy, this person was very nice and asked me if I would record something for a memorial service, and I said yes, that I would. And so I've put it off because they didn't need it until a certain time, and I said, well, I didn't want to bother Lily with it because she's the one who has to do it. Because, again, folks, I don't have Audacity on my laptop because I can't fucking do this stuff on my own. So I did like a mini death podcast for this dude. So I even said to the woman, I was like, look, is there a language rule? And how long do you want this to be? And she's like, well, his family's going to be hearing it, so you should probably worry about the language a little bit. And, just a couple of minutes would be fine. So literally in the first 11 seconds, I said bullshit. Like, I go, I don't know what this bullshit is. And I'm like, oh, dude. And then I apologize in the eulogy. Dude, all the best eulogies contain apologies. Absolutely, they do. And not to the deceased. If you have a good eulogy, you're apologizing to the people gathered right there in the room. Because fuck the deceased. You don't have to give him an apology. He's fucking gone. He's not going to hold it against me. He's in good hell playing Xbox. But only Xbox One. The first Xbox. That's what's good hell. He doesn't get to improve his video games. He's like, God damn it. You get Xbox, but you only get to play like Mario Kart. That's good hell. You get to play, but you only get Mario Kart. Awful. I don't even know what Mario Kart is. I think it's a game. Isn't that? It's Mario drives around in a cart. No, it's actually where Mario is homeless. Donkey Kong ate the princess and people drummed him out of the plumbing industry. His plumbing business went bankrupt because they saw he couldn't defeat the gorilla. So he went homeless and he had to push a cart around fucking some neighborhood. And he just walks. It's like a combination of Mario, Super Mario Brothers, and The Road. That's what Mario Kart is. It's just fucking homeless Mario pushing a goddamn shopping cart down a fucking endless ravaged landscape. Goddamn, that's perfect. Ding, 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 ding. Boom. All right. I never played Donkey Kong. Wasn't a fan. I didn't play any of those games. I like to watch people play games. I'm a very passive guy. I'm a voyeur. I'm a video voyeur. That's who I am. I'm a video game voyeur, as I've told you. I don't want to control Sonic, but I want to watch you make it do Sonic do a bunch of crazy shit. And I want to tell you what to make Sonic do. I drove my brothers crazy, and my mom actually enjoyed it. She thought it was funny, but my brothers hated it because if you play Sonic the Hedgehog and you like don't play, he starts tapping his foot and he looks at you and he's like mad that you're not playing the game. And that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to see how long he would stand in one place. I'm like, come on, he's going to tap his foot and get angry at me? Fuck that. That's perfect. My day is not complete unless I fill the cartoon character with rage. That's how I got to do it. Unless I can somehow make little Lulu flip me off. I am not having a good day. I want Dick Tracy to talk into his wrist phone and go, hey, fucking break that guy's legs. That's what I want, goddammit. I want to piss off these cartoon characters or comic strip characters or video game characters or some fucking fake character. So I don't know. I'm lost here. I don't know what to do. Here's something, and this is what I said to Lily. I'm like, she almost drove me back to chocolate. That's how fucking freaked out I am in her house. I'm just like, do you have anything made of chocolate in your house that I could just put in my mouth right now and eat just so I don't have to move and talk? She's like, no, I don't. The only food I have is the food you brought. Which by proxy, I guess, means I should have brought better food. I don't know. I can't.
No, it just meant I don't have any food in the house right now.
The good news is my divorce is final next Friday, so I get one final week of knowing what it was like to be married. So thank you. That's not fair. Karen lived a hell of a life. She was not in good hell for 20 years. She was in Mike Hell. Mike Hell Schmidt. Ha! That's why she called me Michael. Maybe that was her little in-joke. I talked to her on the phone last night. And because I had to, we are still, like I said, everything's final next Friday. But we had to discuss some stuff because we still have one bill that we're paying. Folks, we owe the IRS money. I'm not going to lie to you. And all right. When we filed last year's tax, I covered this, right? When I did the taxes and I actually got money back, but it just got applied to an old debt. And so now I'm still paying them. But the thing is, we have a payment plan, and it's not, we don't pay much. I purposely shot low because I didn't know what Karen's situation was, and I knew what my fucking situation was. So I was like, all right, we'll pay them this much. Well, I'll just give you some hypothetical numbers here, folks. Say I paid them $100 a month. They charge me $300 a month in fees and late charges. So it's a hell. I mean, it's like, and so a couple of months ago when I got to apply some money towards it from this year's refund, it actually cut the debt almost in half. But since 3 months ago, I now owe an extra $320. So I'm talking to Karen and I'm like, man, we're drowning here, right? And it's odd talking to her because there's no animosity or tension or weirdness. I mean, it's sort of there sometimes, but we don't because we just talk. You know why? Because I'm a child. Like I don't talk about anything in depth, and then neither does she. Like she's not led to do that. That's one of the reasons we were together for so long is because we both just fucking didn't care. We just like hit into the coats and let life pass us by, and that was that. And now that's kind of where we're at now when we talk. But she made me laugh last night because she just goes, "Oh, is this Mike?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "I hate when you say that." I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Whenever you call me, go, hey, Karen, it's Mike." And I go, "That's my name." She goes, "Your name is Michael." I go, "There's only one person in the world who calls me Michael," and she left.
Oh, nice.
And she goes, "No, your mom calls you Michael." And I go, "That's what I was talking about." See, come on, we're having fun, right?
You're a jackass.
Um,
Oh my god, that's funny.
but it made her laugh. And then she goes, "Your friend Jeff calls you Michael." And it's so funny. In my head, I went, I never knew there was a Michael tote board that she kept, but she's right. She's not wrong. There are 3 people in the world who call me Michael. Her, my friend Jeff, and my mom. That's it. And, well, yeah, and you. I know you. Lily calls me Michael, too.
David does sometimes too.
Huh?
David, Max.
Max? No, he doesn't usually. He calls me dude. Yeah, I don't think he's called me Mike in 17 years. I'm not even joking. That's it. That's it exactly. Every email we send, dude. I call him that too. Dude. I'll be seeing him next week. Dude, sweet.
Okay.
I always laugh when I see like stuff online and people are like, "Oh, people should just stop using dude," or "Oh my god, how dude is so over." Dude is never over ever. It's still there. It's never going to leave. Quit telling me how to talk. Quit being the arbiter of my mouth. Nobody tells my mouth what to fucking do. Not even my head. It's totally true. Just ask the people who just listened to an 8-minute eulogy. So that was what I was going to get to, man. I said bullshit in the first minute, and then I talked for 9 minutes. She's like, don't swear and talk a couple of minutes. Here's me making it about myself. Hey, you know your dead friend? Fuck him. Listen to me. I'm this guy from the internet. Who doesn't want to hear me? Because then she's like, I got to admit, all right, here's how bad a person I am. She wrote me, and she's like, because I reached out to her, and I said some nice things, and I was like, I'm very sorry. And then she's like, hey, I just wanted to gauge your interest in this. We've got some other podcasters, some other people. They're all going to do this thing for this memorial for him, and we're wondering if you'd like to be involved. Other podcasters? Sounds like you're good in the podcaster department. I don't think you'll need me to be involved. I mean, I got my hackles up and I got totally weird where I'm like, why am I being asked to participate in something with other podcasters? Hey, if you want me to step up and say something, then I'm happy to do it. But if you're going to lump me in with other podcasters, well, fuck that. That's fucking depressing. I don't want to be that guy. Again, when you book Mike Schmidt for your wake, you'll book Mike Schmidt for your wake. You don't book all the podcasters for his wake. But that went away in 30 seconds. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing, stupid? This is for somebody else, not you. So I responded absolutely that I would do it, and then I got the rules and I fucking broke them like an idiot. So I don't even. And again, who knows what? I try to think about what other podcaster she got. Literally, she got Doug Benson, and he's just gonna be, and then that's it. That's all he recorded. That was my imitation of a joint.
What if you got Paul Goebel?
What if you got Paul Goebel to do it?
What would that podcast be?
You're dead. Go fuck yourself. That's what Paul Goebels would do. That's his eulogy.
Can we do eulogies by other podcasters?
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
You do a podcaster and then you do the eulogy?
Hello again, everybody, and indeed, welcome to This Guy's Dead. I am Jimmy Pardo.
Okay, what if it was Ricky Gervais?
Wow, I can't do it. Really got to bring an accent into it? That's the worst part. I could barely do Americans, and now you got to bring an accent into it?
Another American podcaster. Does Jack Black have a podcast?
No, he does not. He's far too famous.
Oh, Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith has it?
Smith's sick.
Well, I don't know because I would stop listening an hour and a half in. I don't know because you think I'm long-winded? I would listen to fucking an hour and a half of his eulogy, and then I would realize there was another hour and a half of it to go as he and his friend giggled and talked about Spider-Man, and then I would fucking delete it from my computer forever. And then Jason Mewes would come in and they would do Berserker.
I don't know if that's true.
Are you want to making fuck Berserker?
Oh my god.
Podcasters Eulogy Club. We should do that. We can organize that, right? Couldn't we? Shouldn't we?
No.
Will we?
No.
I'll do it after I do my.
I'm never organizing anything again.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my God, I forgot. I can't move. See, folks, everything's a hot button issue. Everything's a hot flash issue with my friend Lily. Oh no, it's not. She's got a period. She's had her period. There's no hot flashes. She's still all lady.
I'm all lady.
Does that? Well, I don't know. Look, I don't want to offend any of you menopause people. I don't know if that means you're not a lady or anything like that. You're certainly still a lady. You've got the parts. It's just that the warranty's over. Yeah, take that, ladies, with your hot flashing selves.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. Next week we'll have a bunch of menopause ladies do my eulogy
Probably.
after they've beaten me to death with their tampons that they never have to use again. How many times would you have to hit me with a tampon to beat me to death with it? Let's break that down. I want to be Mr. Owl for just a second here. Let's talk Tootsie Pops. Let's talk Tootsie Tampons. How many times would you have to hit me with a tampon to beat me to death with it? It would have to be 1,000. Easy. That seems short. 10,000. Look, I'm not tough. I'm not proclaiming to be a tough guy, folks. But I'm willing to tell you I could take 10,000 shots from a tampon and not go down. You still never got me down, tampon. You still never got me down, tampon. That's me talking to Sugar Ray Tampon.
Oh my god.
Oh, Christ. Folks, this is what happens when you can't. I just don't know what to say. I don't want to say things. It's going to trigger it. It's going to be awful. You ever go online and now all this bullshit with people with trigger warnings? Oh, where's the trigger warning? How about don't read anything ever? There's your trigger warning, motherfucker. I'm so tired of that. Check your privilege and trigger warning. Jesus fucking Christ, enough. All right? Why don't we? Let's put it this way. Why don't we all put on suits of armor as we wander through the world and not let everything that fucking gets mentioned take us down because it references something from when we were 11 fucking years old? Jesus Christ, I got molested at a ballpark. You think I don't like baseball? I still love baseball, goddammit. I can sit in the bleachers and not think of that old guy grabbing my cock. It's fine. I can get past it. Or do I? Or is that the reason I go to baseball games? Hold on a second. Wait a second, folks. Maybe I'm trying to find that guy. I'm waiting for that guy to show up and grab my cock again. That's right, 30 years later, because now I can do something about it. Let's go, buddy. And I don't mean beat him up. I mean have sex with him. All right. Although that's gross, because I was like 17 at the time, and he was probably like 40. So that means that's 30 years ago. That's a 70-year-old dude. I don't want to tag some 70-year-old dude in the can. That seems awful.
How old is the man you want to say?
Well, all right, let me think of an age range here. I'm in play. We talked about that. I'm in play. It doesn't matter. Who knows what'll happen? Who knows what'll happen? But you'll hear it here first. At MNN, Mike Network News. I'm sorry, Michael Network News. I hate that. I hate when you say, hey, Karen, it's Mike. I get news for you. You got Michael in the divorce. All I kept was Mike. So, yeah, we had that conversation last night about stuff. And then it's just this weird, it never ceases to amaze me because like I said, it can be tense and weird sometimes, but last night it was not. We just talked for like an hour and a half on the phone. But then it was rough. Like, cause then it's like, we're still friends and all that. And you're not, but you are, but you can't be and you shouldn't be, but you are. But she still won't come get her shit. And I was like, you gotta come get your stuff. You have to get a truck, get some dudes. Don't say dudes. Get some dudes. That means me and Mex.
Still not coming together?
No, man. I told her I keep kind of. Well, we figured out this IRS thing last night, and like I said, we talked and it was fine. It's just weird. It's rough, man. I won't lie. It's fucking rough because there's still 20 years of shorthand between you, so you wind up talking and then you get it's just because I can't. Oh fuck. What's funny? I don't because you don't know what to say. I don't know what to fucking say because you think you're over it. You always do. You think everything's fine, and you're like, well, I'm moving on, and I've got other things going on, and I've got other interests and other interests. I've taken up stamp collecting. I've done that. In lieu of a 20-year relationship, I said, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start making those little Civil War dudes and paint them up. That's going to be fucking awesome. Because that'll certainly get rid of any sexual tension or frustration that I might have with my life or knowing that my fucking wife is gone and doesn't care for me anymore and gave up on me and she fucking bailed and that's fine. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to paint General Grant. That's what I'm going to fucking do. I'm going to buy some fucking pewter General Grants and give him rebel hats. That's me. Because that'll make up for the fact that I failed my wife and I'm the worst husband who ever lived. Great. Bring me a box of Johnny Reb. I've got to turn them blue and red. That's, by the way, my favorite Charlie Daniels lyric. Bring me a box of Johnny Reb. I'm going to make them blue and red. The devil went down to Cincinnati. That was the first draft. And he went, this is too many syllables, probably. The devil went down to Montana. Fuck! Charlie Daniels, it took him 4 years to write that song. Did you know that? Even if he would have gone alphabetically, he could have written it much sooner because he would have gotten to the G's that much sooner. But instead, he just hopped all over the place. The devil went down to Kuala Lumpur. That seems long. You know how long it took Charlie Daniels to write that song? When he started, he didn't have a beard. Oh, God, I'm great. All right, so.
Oh my God.
The devil went down to Cincinnati. All right, so that's that one's growing on me. I like that one. The devil went down to Fort Wayne. Closer, much closer. But you can't have 2 words. It's got to be 2 syllables, but not 2 words. Back to the drawing board, Charlie. You think Charlie Daniels has a drawing board? I bet he doesn't. I bet he does not. If he does, it's soiled with tobacco stains and racism. And it's just covered with, it's literally, if Charlie Daniels has a drawing board, it just has splotches of tobacco juice and the word nigger written 400 times on it. I agree with you because there's nothing Charlie Daniels would do 400 times. Far too lazy a man.
Oh my God.
Not only a racist, a lazy racist. You know what? It says nig 400 times. That's how lazy he is. Yes, Charlie Daniels is a terrible racist. Or am I thinking of David Allen Coe? David Allen Coe is a terrible racist. He is, and that's not even a joke. That is a terrible person right there.
I don't know who he is.
He's a serial killer. 3 names, obviously. No, he killed 1 million people with a banjo. Oh, by the way, I've decided if I'm killing anybody, I have my weapon of choice.
Uh-oh.
I figured it out.
What is it?
If I ever go on a killing spree, if I'm ever going to murder people, if I'm ever going to leave bodies lying in my wake, if you're ever going to read about me in the paper the next day, it will not be with some carbine fucking rifle, some AR-15. It will not be with a knife or a razor or a box cutter. I will not hijack a plane and fly it into your buildings. Here's how I plan on killing people. I plan on hijacking a plane and flying it into your buildings. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I do that? That was my original idea, and it was stolen by Muhammad Atta. Don't ever have coffee with Muhammad Atta and tell him what you plan on doing because he'll fucking take it. He's a dick. That guy's a dick. We were hanging out, and I thought it was cool. He and I had a cool relationship up to that point. And I'm telling him, you know what I'm thinking about one day? I may just get a fucking plane in Boston and crash it into the Pentagon. And he's like, hold on a second. Wouldn't a truck bomb work better? I said, well, maybe.
Oh my God.
But I think if you just had some sort of coordinated attack where you hijacked jets all over the United States and flew them into buildings, maybe like, I don't know, what am I thinking? The World Trade Center? And he's like, well, yeah, okay, that seems like a good idea. Why are you got your head in your hands like,
Bad.
well, I mean, well, it's bad that he stole it from me, certainly. Did you know that you cannot copyright mass murder and acts of terrorism? I tried.
I did not know
I actually wrote down flying planes into the World Trade Center and mailed to myself in 1999. It did not matter. Copyright infringement was taken away from me. I couldn't figure it out. I still have it. It's in a sealed envelope in my house. I can't sue that motherfucker. He's Ash. Who am I going to sue? A pile of ash? Mohammed Ashta. Jerk. Stole my idea for 9/11. Although, good on him, though, he did change it to 9/11. I was not planning on doing it at 9/11. I had my heart set on October 4th. Because I knew that people would shorten it, and I knew that it would forever ruin 10-4 Good Buddy for everybody for the rest of their lives. Every time you said 10-4 Good Buddy, somebody would cry somewhere. Like, oh, no. But surely you would never forget. I thought of the never forget thing. I knew nobody would ever forget 10-4 Good Buddy. But I think 9/11 was a solid move, too, because now every time you think of an emergency, you think of 9/11. And then you think of Mohammed Ashta. Are you okay? Is something happening? Or is it setting in? Is festival stuff setting in?
No, everything's fine.
All right. I want to make sure. I'm doing it because I started to talk faster, and I saw your eyes started to ping pong a little bit. So I don't know if you got like texts coming in or you got people sending emails. Folks, it's just you know what this reminds me of? When I was a kid and my mom would get like super mad and we would have to just be super quiet. And we couldn't say anything because my mom would get so pissed off. So it's like, dude, mom is totally mad right now. And then, of course, we would inevitably wind up laughing because we're jerks. And then my mom, I told that story. I've told the liar story, of course. Did I tell the story about when my mom had a Coke and my brother took a big chug out of it? Oh, I did.
So.
Oh, I had to. All right, we're sitting around having dinner once, and my mom was furious. I mean, she's fucking, again, literally, it was a day with a Y in it, so my mom was fucking pissed. So she was just fucking slamming cabinets and forks and shit, and it was just a nightmare. But my brothers and I are just like, well, whatever. And so we tried to alleviate the tension. So my mom actually, she never sat to dinner with us. We would always just eat our own dinner. My mom would go into the living room with a soda and a cigarette and do whatever the fuck she was doing. So for some reason, she set a place for herself at the table, or we set a place for her. I think we did it as a goof, like, because we knew she would never join us, but we thought it was, like, funny for us to set a place for her. Like, you know, literally she had never eaten with us in 17 years. Like, this would be the day she sat down. So we set the place, and unbelievably, my mom sat down at the table. Like, she came and she put the stuff down, and she actually pulled a chair out and sat down, like, in front. And all of us were like it was funny, like it was a big miracle, but at the same time, it was awful, because now it meant, like, this black cloud wouldn't be moving into the living room. We couldn't just fucking laugh it off. We had to just fucking eat now with this monster. We had to sit there and eat and just that sound of like your silverware hitting your plate and everybody chewing and trying not to die. I'm just that miserable fucking feeling. So my mom put down her soda and she walked out. She actually went into the other room, and we were all like joking. And my brother, Andy, grabs the soda and he just fucking drinks my mom's soda. Like he took a big swig out of my mom's soda, and we're all like, oh my God, like, because he grabbed it and he sucked it, and then he was like, it was my mom's Diet Coke and about half Crown Royal. My mom had filled her glass with half Crown Royal, and my brother, like, he swallowed it, and then he's just like, because he was only, I think he was 13, you know what I mean? And he's just like, it was almost like in the cartoons when they grab their throat and fire comes out of their mouth. Like, he was so freaked out, and of course, we lose it. I think my brother Glenn spit potatoes out. I mean, we were just fucking dying because Andy's just like, he was going to die. He had no idea there was fucking booze in it, and fucking everybody just like, ha ha. And my mom's like, what the fuck's going on? And they're nothing. Call an ambulance for Andy. So that's what we have going on here right now. I'm about to drink Lily's Crown Royal. Well, that's what you say, because you're you. You're in your self-contained universe. You know what it's like? In the old Batman TV show, one time he fought Mr. Freeze, and Mr. Freeze brought him into his house, and Mr. Freeze had like a freeze house, but he could turn levers, and sometimes it was a hot house. Like, he could make it where it was cold where he was, but it was hot where you were, because he wanted you to be comfortable, I suppose. Because sometimes Mr. Freeze apparently had guests that he actually cared about. That seems weird, right? Doesn't it? Why wouldn't Mr. Freeze just live in a freeze house? Why the fuck would he have to have a house that was half hot and half cold? Be Mr. Freeze, for fuck's sake. It's in your name. It's in your goddamn name. Be Mr. Freeze at all times. What are you trying to accommodate guests for? Are you hoping that someone will stop by? Look, I guess even Mr. Freeze gets lonely. That makes sense, all right? Because he's cold all the goddamn time. But then fucking move to Alaska. Why build a special house that's like half hot and half cold? Go live in a cold place and they're cold too and you're cold. It'll be perfect, Mr. Freeze. Instead, you hang out in Gotham City and try to fight Batman and have a half hot house. Nobody wants that. Except you. So then one time, Batman came to his half-hot house, which seems really ridiculous. You're Batman, why are you at Mr. Freeze's house? Catch him somewhere else, because you know he's got a cold house. But maybe Batman knew that it was a half-hot house. Who knows? She just threw something at me. She
I
just
did
literally
not.
just
I
threw
dropped
something at
my
me.
Glasses.
You dropped your glasses? They came flying at me.
They didn't go anywhere near you. Telling tales.
See what I'm putting up with here, folks? 10-4, good buddy. That's my distress signal. That's my safe word for you guys. If you hear me say 10-4, good buddy, just kick in the door of the oldest building in Hollywood. Save me. Save me. So Batman goes to Mr. Freeze's house once.
Holy shit.
Christ. All right. And the thing was he kept flicking the levers. Like so Batman and Robin were in like a warm spot, like in the half hot house, but then he would flick the levers and it would get colder and colder and put them into a smaller box. And then eventually there was no room for him and Robin. So then he leaped out of the warmth into the freezing cold to save Robin and let Robin be warm. And then Batman, I think he charged Mr. Freeze or something, or he froze. I don't know what the fuck happened, but he survived because he's Batman, and Mr. Freeze went to jail because he's Mr. Freeze. That's their lot in life, folks. Very rarely does Batman go to jail and Mr. Freeze survive. So that's what this is now. Like Lily's got a cold, like the oldest building in Hollywood is all cold now, and I'm in the only warm spot, but she keeps clicking the levers over and over and throwing glasses at me and things and making it get fucking colder and colder as it gets closer to me. And now she's rubbing her forehead. She's rubbing her forehead because she's like, why are you making me a monster? You're not a monster. You're just in the throes of a crisis at this point. You're putting on a festival, an amazing festival. It's going to be so great. But as with all births, the labor is the most difficult part. I don't know shit about births. Is that true?
I thought the ripping open of the vagina is the worst part.
Well, for one of us, I would think that's true. But for me, not really. I think the labor is the best part. Worst part. Best part. And the ripping part of the vagina, what jungle country are you giving birth in, for fuck's sake? They knock you out and your vagina opens up and the baby just walks out. He strolls out with a sash and a cane.
That would be awesome.
He's like Baby New Year, right? All babies are like Baby New Year, right? Aren't they born with a sash and a cane?
Yes.
They come and they just walk out of the thing and they're just like, hello, my baby. They just fucking like Michigan J. Frog. Everybody has a Michigan J. Frog baby. I've seen video. I've seen YouTube. I've seen that happen. But they're all sticky. Babies are so sticky. Always. Ugh. That's why I don't think I want to be around for Mom, Pop, and Chinese Rick's birth. I just want to pick them up. I want them to be clean and have their little silk pajamas on, and then I'll just fucking throw them on the plane and we'll roll. I don't know if I'll throw them on the plane. We probably won't roll. And I should probably say not. I should probably not say let's roll on the plane when I hop on board with my 2 Chinese babies. Let's roll, because then everybody's gonna think that I'm carrying some sort of weapon and they're gonna storm me. And then we go down in a field in Pennsylvania, which was also my idea, Mohammed Atta, you dick. That was actually my idea. I said let's crash into the World Trade Center and crash into a field in Pennsylvania for no reason. He stole it all. You don't think so? I have a sealed manila envelope with all of it in at my house. Mohammed Ashta. I love that he's the guy I remember. Is there like 13 other dudes? You think they're up in fucking Muslim virgin heaven banging those 72 chicks and just going, how come nobody remembers our fucking names? Because I just remember Mohammed Atta's name, and then there's like 12 other dudes. It's like you too. You know Bono and I guess you know The Edge. That doesn't make any sense. And then you know Larry Mullen Jr. and you know Adam Clayton. All right, fuck you too. That's a bad example. But it's like, you know what it's like? It's like Wilco. There you go. Everybody knows Jeff Tweedy's name, but nobody knows the rest of fucking Wilco. They could have been the guys who bombed the fucking World Trade Center. Like Mohammed Atta, Jeff Tweedy is the Mohammed Atta of Wilco. He clearly is. And you don't know any of the other dudes. All right. You okay? Yeah, that was a steely stare you fixed me with there.
I'm good.
Are you channeling Wilco? Are you angry at me on Wilco's behalf?
I couldn't name anyone in Wilco. That's what I was thinking.
Jeff Tweedy is the only one you can name. He's the Mohammed Atta of Wilco.
I wouldn't have known that. I also don't remember Mohammed Atta.
Well, now you do. See? Look, actually, you know what you do? Your just mind is scrambled right now from trying to rent a duvet for your fucking show this weekend. Poor Lily. Every time I talk to her, she's like, all right, I was just talking to the insurance company. Now, hear me out. I have to call Rhode Island before they close at 8 o'clock. And then I'm like, oh my God, this is just, I can barely do this. And I can't even do this alone. Like, that's the thing is I show up, I still have to have Lily here to fucking record it and fake like she enjoys it half the fucking time. But she is putting on a festival, a 4-day fucking festival with renting buildings and hiring security guards and ordering rice and all this fucking crazy shit.
Yes, the rice. Oh shit.
Huge curtains and fucking stickers and programs. And every time she's like, hey, can you go to this fucking shop on Melrose and pick up 9 boxes of shit for me? And I'm like, yes, of course I can. And then I don't even really think it's, I will tell you this. She wanted me to pick up the thing for her from the shop. And so I went and I saw it was like 2 boxes in a bag. And I won't lie, I walked in and I was like, 2 boxes in a bag. She's putting on a 4-day festival and trying to survive. I had to pick up 2 boxes in a bag, and I was sad about it. I'm like, oh, this box is kind of heavy. What the fuck's in this box? The girl's like 90 books. I'm like, what the fuck does a burlesque festival need with books? We're gonna pass it out to people when the bad acts are on? That's fucking terrible. And the woman's like, I don't think there's gonna be any bad acts at the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. I go, yeah, that's the point. Why are we passing out books? This would be for a bad burlesque show. And then she got quiet and went back into her shop. Her lingerie shop that was not too weird when I walked in, as she was bent over counting bras. I said, and you know what I did? I immediately fell asleep.
Oh God, that was funny.
I'm glad I hit one. That's how I go to sleep, folks. I just count bras. All right. So yeah, so we're quiet. We're being very quiet this week. We're not, no sudden movements. Because, and I will tell you this, you will have to admit this one, all right? If you think anything else I've said is a lie, folks, you've got to, this is true. Lily is so fried, she's getting scared of noises. She jumps when anything happens like on her computer, there's like a little swoosh when an email goes away. Or when there's a text that comes in on her phone, it's like, just like a little buzz. And I'm not kidding, she's got fucking like, you have HB, what is it, Hollywood Burlesque Festival? HBF or Hollywood BQ Fest. You have Hollywood, it's HBQF? You have HBQF PTSD.
But it's pre.
Exactly. Pre-traumatic stress disorder. Stress disorder? Sex disorder.
I'm a little stressed.
You are. A little bit. And she cut her bangs too, which is a fucking mess. Don't do that. You should never do that.
Thanks, that helps.
They look really good.
That helps. Fuck you, that helps.
No, they look great on you, but it's not my personal choice. There's not a lot of women who can cut their bangs off and look good, but you actually pull it off very well.
Just stop.
No, it was great. It looks really good. No, seriously. It doesn't look at all like you were in kindergarten. All right, so. Yeah, now you're flipping me off. See, again, folks, I was told not to say anything mean or bad. Oh, she jumped. Is everything on the phone? Thank God, I was saved by a text. She was ready to stab me, folks, but unfortunately, a text has come through to keep her mind off of it. All right, so, yeah, I don't, so talking to Karen, it was just rough, man. I mean, just because there's that thing where you think you're over it, and then you're not, and then you hear a song, and you lose your mind, and then and it seemed to be fine, I guess. I don't know. But, and I think that's one of the reasons why she doesn't want to come pick her stuff up, you know what I mean? Because then if you pick your stuff up, it's first of all, I'm there. That's one thing. But second of all, that's final, right? That's pretty final when you come and get your stuff. Because right now, but I mean, that's what it's got to be. It's supposed to be final. We're done. I mean, it's over. She bailed, so she's got to come and get her stuff. To the victor go the spoils. Come pick up the spoils. You won. So get your stuff. Grab your trophy, thank the Academy, and just fucking get the fuck out of my hair. But that's mean. I don't want her out of my hair. I don't mean it in that way. I mean, again, there's no animosity. It's just I hope she's happy and doing stuff. But then I talk to her, and it's weird. It's like we didn't even get divorced sometimes. Like when we talk, and she's just like, yeah, what's going on? And we just talk like friends. But we shouldn't do that, right? Aren't we supposed to hate each other? There's supposed to be a bunch of shit going on. I don't know. All right, it's strange. But just when I think, because I always think I'm out of it. I always think I'm over it, and then there will be a song, and you just go, oh, that changes everything. And it's because I use music again. Trigger warning, folks. Trigger warning. Check your privilege, singers. Quit making people sad. That's my job. Just ask Lily. She knows that I make her weep on the reg. I don't know who I am now. Some weird. I'm a young person now. On the reg. Actually, that's what it says on Charlie Daniels' drawing board when he's drunk. Just 400 times he has to write the word reg. And spits all over it with tobacco juice. Horrible racist, Charlie Daniels. I'm sorry, that's David Allen Coe. Perhaps I'm thinking about George Strait. George Strait may be a terrible racist. Anybody who sings a song with a twang, terrible racist. Brad Paisley. Oh my God, what a racist Brad Paisley is. You wouldn't think so with that name. That sounds like the most unracist name in the world, but he hates the Asians. He hated Asians. Actually, Brad Paisley is the farthest thing from a racist. He and LL Cool J wrote a song about how racism is over, and it's a great song, and it's true. Racism is completely over, unless you go back into the woolly swamp, and you better not go at night. God, I love me. You guys don't care. Nobody else cares. That's fine. Well, no, you care. Everybody cares, right? That's what I told the dead guy audience.
Dead guy audience?
Yeah, the dead guy's audience. That's the eulogy when they play that. It's going to be so great. Somebody actually booked me for their wake. Really, when you think about it, someone actually booked me for their wake. They did not meet my price, though. I came in cheap this time because I actually knew that I knew the deceased. I knew the man who had passed. By the way, that was the second best spy show of the 60s. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., The Man Who Had Passed. That's right. Take your Avengers and stick it. All right. Although Emma Peel in the Avengers outfit. Sharp. All right, folks. Oh, so yeah, I forgot this. I found out I'm going to kill somebody. Here's how I'm going to kill somebody, folks. I'm not going to kill them with a razor. I'm not going to kill them with an arrow. I'm not going to kill them with an axe or a hatchet blade. Here's how I'm going to kill somebody. I'm going to kill them with the opening riff of Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak. That's how I'm going to kill people from now on. I'm not even the guitar. I'm just going to do it in their face. If I ever want somebody dead, I'm just going to go. That's fucking evil. That song is so great. I heard it in the car today. I was just like, God damn it, I couldn't turn it up loud enough. That's a tragedy that Phil Lynott is dead. It's a tragedy that Gary Moore is dead. Thin Lizzy is actually still touring without those two guys. Never has a Lizzy been more thin. That sounds like I wrote that. I just wrote in the second. Goddamn, I just came up with that on the fly. Because I was trying to think of a Phil Lynott aspirating joke, but I think he died of heroin, and then Gary Moore died of a heart attack, and I'm like, in my head, that's where it went. That's where the bees went, folks. And the bees took us instead of that piece of gorgeousness. That was awesome. All right, that's good. All right, I love that I'm plea bargaining it down. That was gorgeous. That was awesome. That was good. That was okay. I should have never said it. It was dumb. Was that an awe? Was that, what are you, was that, dude, did you think that joke was as cute as a baby infant? Is that what you thought?
I did.
All right. A baby infant. Wait a second. Aren't infants babies by definition?
Well, there's.
Wait a second. Are you trying to say something about me and being a kid? I don't like it. I am a kid. I'm a dumbass, dude. I am serious. I just don't. There's no adult in me whatsoever. Even when I was talking to Karen last night, I'm making stupid jokes. I'm like, I'm picking. This is why she left, dummy. Can't you be serious for 1 second about the fucking taxes? She's trying to reach out and be like normal and be an adult about this, and you're just like fucking spinning a propeller hat. God damn it, stop. All right, I'm gonna tell this story. Fine, let's tell something of substance. Let's talk about some substance here, folks. Let's go ahead and make sure that you guys know something that I don't, or actually you know something that I do, because I would have to bring it to you. What if you knew something I didn't? What if I brought you something that I didn't know? That would make no sense. How would I know it then and tell you in the moment? What if it's something you all knew and I didn't know? Holy shit, that's a psychic podcast. No, I'm fucking David Copperfield. Copperfield's a psychic? No, he's a magician, right? No, it's a famous story.
Copperfield is a magician.
He's a magician, but it's also the famous story, David Copperfield. Yeah, it's a famous book.
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what a magic trick would be if I ever finished that fucking book, because it's like 1,000 pages, right? Isn't it? It's like Infinite Jest. I saw a guy buy Infinite Jest at the airport. Did I ever tell you that? No. A guy bought Infinite Jest at the airport. First of all, I couldn't believe they were selling it at the airport. It had to just be like a gag, like they brought just one copy in for a joke. But then one dude bought it at the airport. I'm like, where the fuck is that guy flying to? That is not an impulse buy. That's what I meant. It just makes no sense. But also, where the fuck is that guy in the space shuttle? Where the fuck is he going? The moon? How the fuck are you going to read Infinite Jest on the plane? It makes no sense. Can't read something with footnotes on the plane. I'm sorry. I'm thrown by the phone. The phone keeps buzzing and then Lily jumps. That's not your fault. It's okay. It's my fault for doing a show on this fucking most holy of Wednesdays. It's Hollywood Burlesque Festival Eve, folks. Oh my God, are they asking about the rice?
Yes.
You've got to order the rice. I was going to get rice, but we switched it. You told me to change it. Yeah, because the rice was chickeny, and I don't know if vegetarians would want to eat that. I don't know. I don't know how it works. So I've had, my Thanksgiving was grim. Not grim. I mean, it was okay. I just did what I thought I was going to do anyway. I sat in my apartment. The night before Thanksgiving, I recorded last Wednesday. And I told you guys that I wasn't sure what I was doing for Halloween. Or Halloween. Yeah, I did do that last Wednesday. I'm not sure what I'm doing for Halloween next year. You know what I'm going to dress up as? A lonely guy on Thanksgiving. Because I've got that costume down. No, what I did was I sat in my house on Thanksgiving and I ate leftover deep dish pizza. And it was what was it exactly? I had, what did I have? I bought it the night before. From a place called Masa in Echo Park, and it makes like deep dish Chicago pizza. So I knew I wouldn't want to go out of my house on Thursday for Thanksgiving. So in my head, I'm just like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and fucking get a leftover pizza and then make myself eat that. So, you can go. Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead. I'll talk while you're gone.
Okay.
Lily's got to go downstairs.
I'll be right back.
All right. I'll be here. Hopefully the computer doesn't freeze. So yeah, no, because I just got thrown off because she got a text and I told her that she had to go. And I said, that's okay. Goodbye. We always knew this moment would come. I think it's kind of refreshing that actually you're the one walking out for a change. You guys can't even hear her laughing in the distance. So Lily is going downstairs to go ahead and get some sort of package for the Hollywood Burlesque Festival, and I'll take this time to tell you that I don't have any. Are you gone yet? I think she's gone. All right, we're alone. Everybody get close. Everybody come in right now to your fucking computers. And by the way, as I'm talking, I'll tell you this. I just got a tweet from Sandra D. Sanchez, who is my friend in Canada. And she's like, oh, man, I hope the 40-year-old boy does a long show today because it's really snowing up here in Canada. And let me tell you something, Sanchez. I don't fucking do what you say. All right? You aren't the boss of me, goddammit. You and your male person ways and your podcasting chops. I don't care about your podcasting chops. I don't care about my podcasting chops. It's just me and you, mono e lesbo. Is that how I would say it? And I'm not outing her. She's a lesbian flying the flag, and she's proud, and she's got a kid, a child that I fathered. Because I had to send her some frozen, I was going to say something crass, but I won't. Frozen, I was going to say man juice too. That's really awful to say. Look, she wanted to have some sort of my sperm. She ordered the chocolate. She ordered the Neapolitan sperm. She's like, I need some sort of your sperm. I'd like the Neapolitan. So I did. I busted off a twist, because that's how I do that, folks. That's how I get the Neapolitan. You got to get that twist with the wrist. Because normally with the straight ahead jerk off, you just go ahead and just boom, right there, chocolate or vanilla. But if you want to go twist, you got to twist that wrist. That's a lot of ists. You know who told me to twist my wrist when I want the Neapolitan? Robbie Wrist. That's right. Cousin Oliver. He brought it to the table. How weird is this experiment? Like, Lily's gone, so it's like I'm trying to make anybody laugh. So I'm trying to make you guys laugh, but there's no Lily. Like, it's an empty chair. You know what? I'm gonna take this photo. I swear to God, right now I'm getting the phone, and I'm gonna take a photo of the empty chair. Max texted me because I had to text him that I was just talking. All right, literally, oh man, do I want this empty chair? I don't know if she'd be mad that I put this picture in her kitchen because her kitchen's kind of a fright as she's trying to. Boy, fuck it. I'm taking this picture. We're gonna lean in. And I'll do what I can here. Shit! I have my headphones over. Folks, I've gone to pieces. And there's the clipboard too. No, I can't take this picture. I can't. That's the thing is I will take pictures in her house and then she always has to have approval over them. But she just ran downstairs and there's no way for me to do it. Hey, what if I went downstairs? What if I took this show on the fucking road? What if I did that, folks? I detached this microphone and I went and followed Lily. Would that be great? See, the reason I kept talking when she left is to prove to you exactly that I can't do this by myself. Imagine me doing this by myself in my house. You can't unleash the bees on nobody. I need somebody to sting. And with Lily, it was love at first sting. Oh, that's right. I go scorpions on you folks. And you know what? Just because of that, I'm going to put this podcast out on Sunday morning. Because this fucking podcast is going to be Loving You Sunday Morning in honor of the Scorpions. And perhaps I will give you inches and I will feed you well. I remember when I was a kid and I heard that line. Because it's like, look, everybody worries about their cock and whether it's big enough. And now I got to have the scorpions coming at me with that pressure. It's bad enough that I'm worried about pleasing a woman as a teenager. I'm like, well, we always got to hear you have a big dick and you're in the shower and you're all freaked out about taking showers in the high school and you see who doesn't measure up and who does. And then I got to sit there next to Abe Kofa and go, Jesus Christ, Abe, what the fuck? Why are you an adult already? That's a lie. I never showered with Abe Kofa at school. But then the Scorpions have a song and they're like, the bitch is hungry, she needs to tell, so give her inches and feed her well. And I'm like, I gotta have big dick pressure from the Scorpions? That's fucking terrible. I don't want to have to think, because now I'll never get it up. If I'm gonna have fucking sex with somebody and I'm gonna think about myself, fucking Klaus Meine is wondering whether my cock is big enough to fucking satisfy some chick, that's gonna be terrible. That's fucking awful in the moment. Dude, I have never once thought about going to fuck a girl and the song Blackout came into my head from the Scorpions. That's terrible. I can't have fucking Klaus Meine and Matthias Jabs and Rudolf Schenker in my head and Herman Rarabelle. That's right. I know the drummer for the Scorpions. Earlier, remember the thing I said about Wilco where Jeff Tweedy was the Muhammad Atta of Wilco? There is no Muhammad Atta in the Scorpions because, again, I know all of them. I know every single one of the fucking Scorpions. Test me. Right now, ask me. This reminds me of when I knew all the guys in Green Day one time. I knew Mike Dirnt was in Green Day. And everybody looked at me like I was insane because who the fuck knows that Mike Dirnt is in Green Day? Only me and Mrs. Dirnt. I don't think there is a Mrs. Dirnt. Even Trey Cool doesn't know that Mike Dirnt's in Green Day. Trey Cool thinks that he and Billy Joe Armstrong are the only people in the band. He wonders where the other sounds are coming from. He has no clue. But again, Trey Cool's not exactly that quick on the uptake. This is weird. I thought Lily'd be back by now. Here I am just trying to fucking fill space until she gets here and there's no laughs. This is like a little, you know what? We're doing a little thought experiment. We're doing a little mind crime with, we're doing, you know what? That's another good band for that. Jeff Tate is the Muhammad Atta of Queensryche. because I couldn't tell you one other fucking person on that fucking band. On that band? In that band. Nobody's on that band. What if somebody was standing on that band and smashed them into the ground? Oh my God, that's terrible. Someone did a flying leap. What if Jimmy Superfly Snuka did a fucking frog splash from the top rope, just a fucking Superfly total death leap, and he landed on Queensryche? He wipes them out, right? He pins them all. Nobody can fight back against Superfly Snuka, least of all them. What if Snuka comes off the top of the cage? What if Jimmy Superfly Snuka climbs to the top of the cage, leaps over the magnificent Don Morocco, and squashes Queensryche, and he just fucking pins all of them, and a young Mick Foley looks on from row 3? I threw that in for all the people who liked the Dork Forest podcast that I did on wrestling. I'll tell you what, I've done this show for 6 years, folks. I've done this show for 6 years, and I have not received the feedback that I have from people. I did a show about when my wife left. I did a show about my father dying. I received more feedback from people listening to the wrestling episode of the Dork Forest than I did from anybody else. And I will tell you, that might be a fib. That could be a lie. But a lot of people were very intense and wanted to talk to me and tell me about it. They were like, and now the best part is we kept joking on the Dork Forest about how we were going to do several different wrestling podcast, and I just kind of invited myself along for them. So me and Andy Peters were just like, yeah, we'll do more of these. And Jackie's like, ha ha, get out of my house. I have to check my mail and have a Hershey's Kiss. And she shuffled us out to the yard. But then, unfortunately, the overwhelming tide of mail, and by overwhelming, I mean at least double figures. She had to receive double figure notes from people, and on Twitter, because then she would retweet it, and she would go, oh my gosh, I can't believe these people love wrestling so much. And I got to be honest with you, Jackie, I know you're not listening to me here, but it wasn't so much the wrestling. People love me. People were tuning in just to hear me talk about wrestling. And there's so much that I didn't get to. And I knew it when I was doing it, because I'll tell you what, wrestling fans are like fanatic idiots. Idiots seem strong. They're just fanatics. Because I am one of them. I'm one of those dudes. So if I was listening to that show and they didn't start talking about stuff, I would be like, dude, why aren't you talking about it? Why you got to bring up this happened, and then this happened, and this happened. And I kept saying it on the show. Look, we're missing so much. We're hopscotching eras. I wanted to start with the 70s, maybe the 80s, then the 90s, and then the 2000s and 2010s. And that's how it goes, folks. That's how numbers work. I don't know if you know how numbers work, but let me go ahead and tell you how numbers work. They start from the 70s and then they move forward into the 2010s. You know what's weird? I'm so afraid of silence. You just go listen back to the past 2 minutes, and because I just, again, talking at the speed of my head. I just don't want any silence at all, so I just fucking rampaged through it so there wouldn't be any quiet. But why don't we just do that? Why don't we take a moment of silence right now in remembrance of Muhammad Ashta? No, that would be bad. I think I've done enough damage to my reputation by knowing the guy's name and talking about him and I having coffee. He and I having coffee, right? I don't know. My grammar Googler isn't here. Google Grammarer? Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what this is like? It's like if a parent took her child to the mall and then the parent went shopping and lost the kid. That's who I am right now. I'm like a kid lost in the mall and he can't find his mom. He's just like walking around and bothering other adults. And then I'm stealing change. Right now I'm stealing change out of the fountain. Everybody throws it in there to make wishes. You know what my wish was? Handful of change. Look at it right there. Came true right in this fucking fountain. Scooping it up and running. And then I'm hiding under clothes racks, and I'm going into fucking pretzel shops, and they're giving me like free nuggets because they realize that my parents are gone, and that I'm just a white trash kid with a stain on my shirt, and mom is still downstairs. I don't know what's happening. What could be getting dropped off? What if she just really did leave? What if she? Oh my God! What if the whole thing about her car being broken down was a ruse? What if she only told me the car was broken down so she could lure me up here, and then I knew that she would never escape, but now she's made her escape. She went down, started the car, and she drove off. And right now she's holding hands with Gina Davis and driving off a fucking cliff. God damn it. I don't blame her. I'll be honest with you. I would have escaped from this too. I'd hold hands with Gina Davis and drive off a cliff. Well, that seems strong. Who would I take? Thelma or Louise? That's a pretty good question. Who would I bone? That's not a good question at all. That movie's 1,000 years old. We got to think of somebody more contemporary. Who would I bone now? Hermione or the chick from the Hunger Games? See, that's better, but they're not in the same movie. Hold on. Hold the phone, Chuck. Crossover. Let's do it now. Harry Potter and the Hunger Games and the People in the Fire. I don't know, is that the name of the movie? I can't even remember the name of the movie. Because it's Hunger Games catching the fire or playing with fire. Or you know what, stoking the fire with gasoline. Maybe David Bowie does the theme song. Busts out a remake of Cat People for the new Hunger Games meets Hermione crossover that I'm proposing. And then the ghost of Dobby arrives and he changes everybody's life. Is there a Dobby, right? I'll confess this right now. And I need to do so in the form of an apology. We have a listener, a very special listener out there who has been with us since the beginning. And I say us because apparently now we're in church. And we're all a congregation, and I am here preaching to you and trying to do the best I can to get the silence out of my fucking head. Liana Dixon. I'm going to say her full name. Our friend Liana Dixon, who's been a donator and a contributor and has seen me live at least 3 times, maybe 4. I know she saw me in Washington. She saw me in New York. She's seen me in Philadelphia, I think twice. Did she come twice? I don't know. But she's a good friend. of the show and a good friend of mine. And she has donated and bought artwork and bought download sets and just been an amazing person. And she gave me a gift when I came to Philadelphia because it was my birthday. I did a show on my birthday in Philadelphia. Can you imagine that? I think on Thanksgiving I wrote a thing on my wall on Facebook, and I wrote that I've been doing this show for 6 years, and I've always been waiting for some arbitrary payoff, waiting for to hit big or something's going to happen, and you know what? It fucking happened. It already happened because I got to be friends with all of you people out there, and I got to have amazing experiences. I got to have dinner with Joel Fowler and dinner with Andrew in Boston, and it's just amazing. Francis got to I went to Washington, D.C., and I did all these tours with Francis, a listener who just was nice enough to take time and come out to see me. And, I met with Christine Butcher, our good friend Christine, in a conference room in a hotel because she was scared of my hotel room. And I don't blame her, quite frankly. So she wanted to stay down in the lobby where there were enough apples that she could throw at me in case I made a move or did something crazy. Because she didn't know me. She only knew me from the internet. But then I was like, hey, you want to come to my room? She's like, no. So we found an open office, an unlocked office, and we talked for fucking 3 hours or whatever we did. But it's been amazing. Like, I've been able to meet all you guys and go out and have great things happen. I started on Never Not Funny. And, so wait, before I do that, let's talk about Liana. Hey, Liana, she gave me a gift on my birthday. She gave me all of the Harry Potter DVDs. Like all of them. She gave me like every single movie. And I was really excited because I didn't read the books. Karen read the books and she loved them, said they were great. And Karen actually saw the movies. My mom loves them. My mom read the books. My mom saw the movies, said they were great. And I just never made the leap because I'm done with fiction, folks. Fiction is over. I'm too old. I'm too old for fiction. I live a non-fiction life. God damn it. I don't want any fiction. I don't want anything that's fake or phony. Whether it's good or in depth or it makes me feel something. I need only documentaries in real life because I need to drown myself in tears. That's how I need to fucking run my life. Although I probably would cry at Harry Potter, right? Because again, the Dobby thing I mentioned earlier. And there's somebody else too. There's a t-shirt that I saw that says somebody died. And I don't want to give it away because I don't want to be a spoiler jerk. Although I guess I already gave away the Dobby thing. Folks, I'm sorry. If you fall in love with Dobby, please know that he dies. Does Dobby die? I don't know. Again, I haven't seen the film. This is a weird thought exercise because sometimes I'll talk and then I have to stop down if I have to yawn or take a drink. I've just rampaged because, again, Lily not coming back. And this has to be a bit now at this point, right? She just has to be fucking either outside there in the hallway just laughing her fucking ass off or she's just never coming back because she knows, you know why? Dude, I'm going to die. I just saw my death. I'm just going to talk myself to death. I will die of malnourishment because I will never be comfortable enough to shut the fuck up while this is going on. So I will just continue to keep talking and trying to fucking make the silence go away. And then I'll just inevitably just croak. My voice will fucking dry out. Not my voice, my throat. My throat will dry out. My voice isn't a thing that'll dry out, right? I don't have a raisin voice. I've just got a regular voice. If I had a raisin voice, oh my God, that'd be awful. I sounded like a fucking raisin. Although, wait a minute, those California raisins sounded fucking amazing. What if I sang like a Motown singer? What if I sang like Levi Stubbs? What if this whole podcast was just the fucking plant from Little Shop of Horrors saying, feed me? I'd probably say more things if I could talk like Levi Stubbs than feed me. But in that movie, oh my God, how great was that movie? Fucking candy bar, right? Whoever directed that movie gets a candy bar. Candy bar! Silence. You thought I went away. It's weird, right? Without the background noise, without our friend Lily here trying to make me think that I'm worth something. Instead, it's just me talking in an empty fucking building, the oldest building in Hollywood. And I look, I don't like being in the oldest building in Hollywood. Oh, so wait, I gotta apologize to Liana. I've never watched the movies. There we go. Let's fucking rip the lid off that controversy. I think they're actually still in the cellophane in my house. Oh no, actually, I think Karen watched them. She may have opened them and watched them because she loved them. But they are still in my house. They are still there. You'll be happy to know I didn't give them up in the divorce. That was the one thing that Karen wanted. She demanded them, actually. She's like, I demand all of the Harry Potter DVDs. I said, those were a gift from Liana. And then she said, all right, I demand Liana in the divorce. And I said, all right, well, you know what? Take her. No offense, Liana, but if it came down to you or the DVDs are tangible. I have them in my hands. You're a ghost. You're ethereal. You only come into my life 3 or 4 times a year. And I do love you, and I want you to be there. And then love you seems strong. This got creepy and weird all of a sudden when you don't think about what you're fucking saying. Jesus Christ, that was odd. But I do. I love you because, I love you like an internet chum. That's how I love you, Liana. You're in school at Drexel. Is that where you are? Why am I giving away your whole life? Because I'm trying to fill silence. That's it. What if I just started doing that? I started to give all your personal information. I'm going to go on my phone right now. I'm going to find a listener and just give away everything that I have about them. Hold on. Let's find them right now. I'm going to go into my phone and, my phone sticks. We almost got to call Mex for the picture. God, you know what? I already told him the picture should be like, because the theme of the show is that I can't make any noise because Lily's here and I don't want her to be mad at me. But now the theme of this should be this thing in the middle where I can't shut the fuck up, right? I'm going to die. I'm just going to be like an old man. Right now, all right, this is what I'm going to pitch to Mex. I'll tell you this. He's going to be mad if he accepts this pitch. But I'm going to pitch that it's just me sitting in the chair with the microphone with like my mouth open and just cobwebs all over me. That's who the fuck I am. Because I'm so afraid to shut up that I'm just going to die in this fucking chair and keep talking just to keep the silence away. I just got to fucking unleash the bees, and I spend the whole fucking rest of my life just trying to corral them and dying right here in this chair in the oldest building in Hollywood. Hey!
Hi!
Oh my gosh, you're back. How you doing?
I just spent 10 minutes asking the parking meter woman not to give my friend a ticket because she parked right at the fire hydrant and had stepped out to give me the stuff as she pulled up. And so, yeah.
Okay.
Hi! How's
Hi.
the show going? What did I miss?
I didn't talk. I talked for about 5 seconds and I said, this is weird. I can't fucking do this. Did you wind up talking her out of getting a ticket?
I did.
Oh my God.
Here's how. She goes, what have you ever done for the firemen? And I said, honestly, I'm a member of the Magic Castle up here. And 2 years ago, we had a huge fire. And every year at the Magic Castle now, we have fireman appreciation. We raise money. And we invite the firemen to come for free and buy them dinner as a thank you. And she goes, really? And I go, yeah. And she goes, well, I didn't start writing.
Wow.
But it was like a long drawn out before we got to that point.
Well, that's awesome.
But she's like, all right, you get in your car and you don't park in front of fire hydrants. And I was like, thank you. Really, truly, almost ready to cry again.
You're a raw nerve. You're ready to go at any second.
I am.
Did you tell her that my little brother once set fire to a bed? That would have been a good nugget of information to impart upon her. I don't know why. That wouldn't mean anything.
That. She said, what good things have we done? Not what did we do to get people in trouble.
I see. Now, here's the thing. You're going to need to talk for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Because I think I've talked my vocal cords into oblivion, into Bolivia, like Mike Tyson would say. Oh, you're texting now. All right. Well, pardon me. I certainly. No, that's quite all right. Please continue texting and do your thing.
No,
that's fine.
What do I need to say?
Nothing at all. I think I can handle it. I usually handle this part of it.
For 15 minutes? Why?
No, we came. Look, we learned a lot about ourselves while you were gone. And we talked ourselves into a couple of corners, but we were able to back out and get out of them, I think. I'm sure the feedback will be interesting from people to hear what they have to say and whether or not you are because, well, look, they all are going to say, the show sucked when Lily was gone. Of course they are, because they should, because it did. But that's fine, because that's on me. But it also shows them exactly why I can't put Audacity on my laptop and do this fucking show by myself from my house. And that's why when you get like the flu and you're like, I can't do a show, and people are like, Mike, you should just do your own show. I just spent 15 minutes proving to them why I should never do my own show. Because it would just be me talking into space. Hi. Well, I guess this is really me talking into space too, when you think about it. So to catch you up, we had to apologize to our friend Liana.
Okay.
We had to say sorry. We were sorry to her, and we know how I'm going to die.
Okay.
We went ahead and figured that out, and also we figured out that this whole thing. I didn't think you were coming back, quite frankly. I told them that there was a long con, that you lied to me about your car being broken down, so you could actually go downstairs and make your escape, leaving me at an open microphone for the rest of my life. And God knows I wouldn't leave it. I would not leave it. I would talk until I was dead. So I'm gonna pitch Max on that idea, and I guarantee he's gonna say no, but we'll see. I told the people what I think the artwork should be. I'm gonna pitch Max on an idea, and we'll see if he accepts it, but he probably will not, because he is the art guy and he's fucking much better at this than I am. So again, Liana, I apologize, but unfortunately Karen got Michael and you in the divorce. You won't even hear it. That's funny. That's for the first time because you didn't listen to year one, or no, not the first. Did you listen to the shows with Eric?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because you had to do tune-up on him and stuff. So that'll be the first chunk you've never heard of this show.
Well,
It's
I'll
amazing.
listen to it tonight as I'm playing it back before I put it up. It'll
Sure
play in
you
the
will.
background while I'm working on the other stuff.
Sure you will.
I listen to it every week.
Don't, because I said Candyman 3 times.
Okay, then I won't.
All right, good.
Do I have to edit it then? Can I just put it out just like this with all the crossover edits this week?
Oh my God, yeah, why not?
Wouldn't that be hysterical?
Yeah, no, probably wouldn't be. Nobody wants to see the sausage get made. Believe me, we learned 2 episodes. Nobody wants to see my sausage. 8 people. We learned 2 episodes ago. Only 8 people want to see my sausage. 6 women, 2 guys.
Well, maybe they just don't want to see your sausage getting made.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm glad you came in when you did, because I was dangerously close to exposing a listener.
I don't know what that means.
Well, good. You never will.
Oh, no. I think I've missed something.
You've missed a lot. So I will tell you this, folks. Thanksgiving was quiet, as I've mentioned. And then I knew I was going to be on the Podcastathon on Friday. I can't tell anybody. Obviously, it's like a secret thing. But then this year, they started to get people to tweet it. It was weird. Like, I don't look. They run their thing, and that's cool. And I'm always thrilled to be a part of it. It's the fucking best, and I'm honored to be asked to be on. But I like surprises. I'm a weird dude. Like we were just talking about wrestling a second ago, and in pro wrestling, one of the greatest things would be when there were rival leagues. Like the WWE would steal a guy from WCW and then just bring him in on a surprise. He would fucking just show up, and the place would go up for fucking grabs because they didn't know he was going to be there. It's fucking amazing, and people go crazy. Like the Road Warriors did it in like 92? I think it was 92. The Road Warriors showed up at WrestleMania. Nobody had any idea they were going to fucking be there. Of course, they ruined it by coming out with a fucking ventriloquist dummy named Rocco, but still, they showed up and people were happy. And then the Ultimate Warrior showed up. Nobody knew he was going to fucking show up, and he ran out, and people went insane. So fucking surprises used to be the big thing, but now with the internet, they've decided they can't surprise anybody anymore, so they just fucking, guys just show up, and they have these vignettes, and it's a mess. Well, Podcastathon used to surprise people. Like, you'd be watching it, and all of a sudden fucking La Bamba would walk out. You're like, oh my God, fucking La Bamba, that's genius. But this year, they had people tweeting their appearances. And it was a way to get, look, because here's the thing. It used to just be about Podcastathon, let's do a show. Now they raise money. So they're trying to raise as much money as they possibly can. So they want to get as many eyeballs as they possibly can. So Jimmy did a lot of press, and they threw a lot of names around, and you knew a lot of the people that were going to be on. Now, I'll tell you this. I didn't know I was going to be on until 3 days before. I got asked. They always send out a thing, and they ask about your availability. And I'll tell them what my availability is, and either they'll pick me or they won't. And I've been lucky that I've been in town. Whenever I've been in town, they've picked me. So this year, again, same thing. And I found out a couple days before. So the last few years, I've showed up at Podcastathon. I've always done something kind of silly, like I've tried to. Like I showed up at one time because I always go on like in the middle of the night, like really late. So a couple of years ago, I brought like 20 dozen donuts. I went and bought, hold on, we got a text coming in from some burlesque festival person, or is it an actual phone call?
An actual phone call.
You got to take this call?
Keep going.
All right, I will. Nice to see you. Take care. Oh, folks, we already heard what a mess this was when I tried to carry the show on my own before. What's going to happen now as I try to talk? I should probably just go ahead and get to the story, right? Get to the meat of the matter. Get to the heart of the matter. Get to the heart of the meat. Get to the meat of the heart. So I brought like 20 dozen donuts from Krispy Kreme. And it was funny. Jimmy made fun of me. He's like, dude, you're broke. Aren't you unemployed? Why are you spending all this money on a bit? And he goes, it's a fucking bit, because that's why. That's what I want to do. God damn it. And also, I had a magical thing back then called credit cards. So I may have been broke, but I wasn't really broke, because I had little fucking plastic discs that allowed me to get whatever the fuck I wanted all over town. It was great. I'm here to tell you, folks, that catches up with you, believe it or not. And it's always the guy who buys 20 dozen donuts at 3 a.m. who it catches up to. I'll be honest. If you're using them I have good friends who use them responsibly, and they don't use them like weapons. My credit cards were weapons. They might, they shouldn't. My credit cards shouldn't have been plastic. My credit cards should have been printed on razor blades, because they were fucking weapons, and I was cutting and slashing everything with them. It was fucking terrible. But I was always current. I was always making my payments, and everything was fine. We were walking a thin line. We were walking a razor's edge. Haha, I bring the razor thing back. How many razors have I mentioned here? I'll just go ahead and say this. Razor Ramon. I'll throw him into the mix. Meng. Hey, Meng. Hey, Meng. Meng. That was a guy named Scott Hall trying to do a Cuban accent. It was amazing. That's wrestling. So I had the credit card, so I was able to go ahead and get all those donuts. Well, then last year, I was on Podcastathon, me and a beard. And I don't mean I'm gay and I had a date. I mean, I had an actual beard on my face that was taking over my face. And I'll be honest with you, folks. Let's talk about this for just a second. I always talk about how I can't grow a beard. So I have this like Van Dyke fucking goatee combination thing that I have. So I'm working these days because I still want to have something, but I can't grow a full beard. Well, last year I attempted to grow a full beard in November, and it wasn't from November or any of that bullshit. I just wanted to grow a beard. I just started to do it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go and see how far this goes. Was that last year or 2 years ago? Might have been 2 years ago. No, it might have been last year. Was I in St. Louis last year, November? I think I was. Yeah, it was a year ago. Jesus Christ, St. Louis is a year ago? Man, time is flying, folks. I'm old. So I went ahead and tried to grow a beard last November, and I hated it. I kept talking about the shitty beard. Even in St. Louis, I go, we'll see if the shitty beard's going to make an appearance. I took pictures. Everybody said I looked like Nick Nolte's mugshot. We all had so much fun. But then when I did Podcastathon, I kept the beard. So they took a photo of me. They had these Polaroids they take of everybody, and then they auction them off. They're called Portroids, Polaroid portraits, portrait Polaroids. And I believe it's Rick DeMint. Is that Rick? I think it's Rick. And he takes a photo. and then they auction them off to raise more money. They put them together in a collage. You can get them individually. I don't remember how it works, but I know that online they put them up. And so the other day I happened to be flipping through my Facebook photos because I had to find something for somebody. It's a long story. How weird is that? I told somebody to look for it because somebody wanted to see something, and I said, "Well, it's in my Facebook photos." They go, "Where?" So I had to actually look it up because I'm like, I wanted to go, dude, look at all my photos. They're great. But that's just stupid because I have like over 700, I think, or no, 600, 650. I don't even know. Why am I an auctioneer all of a sudden? I've got 700 photos. Who's got 700? Who here's 650? Why am I a reverse auctioneer? That's crazy. If you want to be an auctioneer, go up. I got 650. Who's got 700? I'd be a terrible auctioneer. Listen to me stumble over those words. You can't even hear an L in the business, anywhere in the business. That was business I was doing right there. Auctioneer business. Jesus Christ. I hate silence. So I wound up, God, this is a lot like the first episode ever. The only thing missing is Eric chuckling quietly in the background as I sit here and just talk and spin around trying to figure out what the fuck I can do and try to get some traction for you people. And I will be honest, in the beginning, it was not you people. It was you person. It was me and Eric and one person. You know who that person was? Leanna Dixon. Been around since the jump. I wound up last year, they took this Polaroid of me, and I was going through my Facebook photos just like 2 weeks ago, and I saw it. It caught my eye, and I was like, holy shit, I actually did have a beard. Like, I made fun of it, and I'm like, oh, man, I didn't have a good beard. It was terrible because it doesn't grow well on my face. It only grows on my neck. But then when I looked, dude, I had a fucking beard. Like, I had a real beard. It looks like a beard. There's a couple of shots from the side where it looks like I have an actual beard. But then that one from the front, I'm like, God damn it, I got a beard. And if you don't think that I'm saying beard so many times just so I can eclipse razor, you're out of your fucking mind. Of course, that's why I'm saying beard so many times. So last year for Podcastathon, again, my marriage was still intact and everything was fine and I had credit cards. And so I went and bought 5 cakes to do a bit. And I had weird things written on the cakes and I had them bring them out individually and it was fun. And, because I have a pastry theme, folks, I'm fat. So this year, they contacted me like 2 days before the thing. And I had some ideas about what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to commit to a bit without knowing that I was going to be on. Because here's what I wanted to do, folks. They raise money for a charity called Smile Train, which you may have heard of. And if you haven't, go Google it or go look up PCAT13 hashtag or hashtag PCAT13 or go look up Podcastathon 13 because you'll get all the information you could possibly want about Smile Train. Basically, it's a bunch of people who've gotten together and decided to buy teeth for kids. And that's probably a simplification, an oversimplification of it. They fix cleft palates. So if anybody's got a fucking chunk pulled out of their lip, these guys build a new one. They fucking Steve Austin their mouth and everything's great. So, but every year I go on, I make fun of that. I talk about it, some kid who took a machete to the face, and so we've got a cake for him, and I do that because I'm insensitive and it's funny. And it's funny just to watch Jimmy make a face at me because he's just like, dude, really? Really? Is there nothing that you will take seriously? You know what I take seriously? This bit. So last year I brought all the cakes. So this year what I wanted to bring in, and because I actually started thinking about it, I'm so stupid. In the summer, I started to think about it. I wanted to bring in a jar of teeth. Just like, it's like fucking, I wanted to try, and I not like, but the thing is I can't do it without being a ghoul. Like I couldn't figure out how to find teeth. I Google it on the internet, buying teeth. I mean, it's fucking harder than you think. Because they'll give you like the bridge work, and then I'd have to break them out with a hammer, and that just felt weird. I mean, look, I'll sit around with Muhammad Atta and have coffee and discuss 9/11 and give away my plans, but to sit around and just start bashing teeth out of bridge work with a hammer, that seems a bit much. That seems like I'm really giving myself over to the dark side at that point. So what I needed to do was start trying to find individual teeth, like loose teeth, but it was expensive, and then I was trying to find them, and then people are odd, and there were the adventures of Googling trying to buy teeth, and because I actually contacted some dentists to see if there was a way I could get teeth, like actual teeth. And that's never a good conversation. I made sure not to reveal myself. Like believe me, my cell phone was on block. And when I made those phone calls and I called them, hey, is there a way I can buy some teeth? What? Well, you guys, what do you do with the loose teeth that you have? Do you just, well, it's medical waste. We have to dispose of it. Yeah, I know. But what if I wanted to just buy some of them, or at least like a handful of them? Like now, because now I'm like magic beans. I'm going from dentist to dentist, just buying handfuls, hoping that I can hit like 100 dentists and get all the teeth that I want. What a fucking psycho. Because I thought if I asked for a lesser amount, like if I asked for 1,000 teeth, then you call the cops. But if I'm like just looking for like 5 teeth, then maybe you think I'm doing some fun Etsy thing. And by the way, there's no fun Etsy thing. Etsy, what are you doing? Unbelievable. Everybody trying to sell me some fucking butter knife made out of yarn. No thanks. Jesus Christ. They used to call Etsy garage sales. That's what they used to call it, yard sales. But instead, everybody takes to the internet now and they're just like, hey, guess what I made? Dude, I totally made you a dream catcher out of fishing line and baseball cards of Brooks Robinson. Holy fuck, no thanks. And And then there's, did you see the woman who knits out of Revolva? Did you see that? There's a woman who puts yarn in her vagina and knits a sweater, or knits a scarf. And I have to be honest with you, everybody like passed that story around. They're like, oh, this is disgusting. It's so horrible. I almost cried when I read that story. And again, I'm a fucking weirdo at this point anyway. As I've told you, I'm ready to drop a tear at a drop of a hat. Don't drop your hat is my point. I'll cry. There's a lot of drops. That's almost as many drops as I got beards and razors in this show. That's right. I'm going to take some silence. I'm going to make myself stop. I actually grabbed my mouth. I made myself stop. Lily is still on the phone. Now I want to take the picture of the chair, the empty chair. Literally, you're just going to find me in 1,000 years in this chair just slumped over. Fucking terrible. They're going to unearth me. Archaeologists are going to have to dig me out. It'll be like fucking AI. You ever see that movie AI with Haley Joel Osment? And they found him like later on in life, like 1,000 years later, they found him at the bottom of the ocean or whatever the fuck. God damn it. Wait, did that happen? Yeah, that happened, right? Yeah, because the ending should have been Haley Joel. Well, I can't spoil it. Go see AI. Like a spoiler. Like nobody's ever seen AI. I was the only guy in the theater. I saw it twice. I only saw it once. I only felt bad. I wanted to pad its box office because I like Spielberg and I certainly like Haley Joel Osment, who has grown up to look weird, of course, because he's a young kid, and you see him as a young kid, and you're like, boy, I hope he never grows up. And then he grows up fucking weird. And by the way, we talked about M. Night Shyamalan earlier. Look at this. I'm bringing it all back together with Haley Joel Osment. Because I see teeth people. All right, so I did. I called dentist and tried to get teeth and whatever the fuck. I was like a psycho. Because what I wanted to do more than anything was I just wanted to dump a bucket of teeth on the table. I wanted to come out on Parkathon and be like, hey, here's the thing. I know we're trying to buy teeth for kids overseas. And then Jimmy would have yelled at me and hit me with his hat. And then I would have said, bring it out, Caleb. And Caleb Bacon would have brought a huge bucket and just dumped teeth all over the fucking table. God, I wanted to do it so bad. But I couldn't find any teeth. So then I thought to myself, well, there's what else could you do? And then I thought, you know what I could do? This would be funny, actually, because I always say that they're buying smiles. Smile Train is buying smiles for these guys. So I was going to say that, look, I understand Obamacare has kept these kids from getting their teeth, and it seems like there's a lot of money being spent for just one person, because they said it's $250 to fix one person's mouth. I said, that seems high. So I found a way to cut through the middleman and actually get 25 kids fixed for 1/10 of the cost. I think that's what it was. The numbers escape me right now because I can't stop down and think of math. I'm trying to do it on the fly. So what I decided to do was I bought vampire fangs from Halloween, like those little plastic shitty ones that you put in your mouth and you're like, "Rrr." That's actually a bear. A bear would do that. That would be being a bear. Vampires don't go, "Rrr." If they do, they're terrible vampires. Aren't vampires supposed to be suave? They make you want to fuck them? Yeah, so I mean, does that ever work? Rrr. It's never worked for me. Actually, it might work in you know where it works? Gay club. They like bears, right? All gays. No, not, there are bears. There are guys who like bears. I don't want to pigeonhole the entire gay community. Trigger warning, spoiler alert. Check my privilege. But otherwise, I think I'm firmly ensconced in the bear camp. I think I am a bear, so I can talk about bears willy-nilly if I'd like to. Perhaps I'll just go, maybe this whole show should just be bear talk. Maybe I'll do that. There you go. That's bear talk. I guess I could be a pirate too. Oh, actually, that sounds like my version of fucking Chinatown, right? Or no, what was the song? Was it Chinatown? No, fucking Jailbreak. Jesus Christ. I can't kill anybody with the riff from Chinatown. Too soft. You got to kill somebody with the riff from Jailbreak. Oh, God. This is what happens when mom leaves. You're a kid. I'm home alone. You know who I am? I'm fucking Macaulay Culkin. Right now, listen. That was me putting my hands on my cheeks and I smashed them together because I'm fucking home alone. And Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are going to come in and I'm going to fucking set fire to their feet and then hit them in the head with a bowling ball. That's what I'm going to do. Hold on. I'm going to take this microphone on the move and I'm going to go ahead and set up paint cans on fishing wire all over the place so it hits Lily when she comes back in the house. God damn it. That's what I want to do. I'm Kevin. This is fucking Kevin. That's exactly who I am from now on at this point, folks. Hey, what's happening? Kevin from Home Alone, 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. This is even longer than the visit downstairs, right? I mean, I can't time it. I certainly don't have a watch. Whatever. Oh, I do have a watch. I could actually look at the computer if I wanted to. I could pull up my phone. Hey, what was I going to do when she was gone? Expose a listener. Let's grab the phone and see if that brings her back into the room. Hold on. We're taking out the phone. Now I want to take a photo. I got to take a selfie photo. No, I don't want to do that. Fuck. Just talk. All right, so I did Parkathon. Look how weirdly fucking freaked out I am by silence. Like I could just shut up and take a break. I could drink something. Whoops, sorry, I hit the microphone. I'm nodding off. I'm actually boring myself to tears and my head just fell down as I fell asleep while I was in mid-talk. I'm like fucking Tippy the fainting podcaster. Did you guys see that? The fucking squirrel who fucking fainted? Oh, it was awesome. All right, so Oh, let's talk about the sweater chick. Yeah, man, that chick put fucking vagina in her sweater. No, she didn't. She put a sweater in her vagina. No, she didn't. She put yarn in her vagina and made a sweater. Jesus Christ. I can't even fucking think. And then she was knitting and people thought it was gross. I thought it was fucking, it moved me. Like, it really moved me. Like, I felt, this is going to sound stupid because everybody makes jokes about performance art. I actually got what she meant. Where she was like knitting and it was like that, that's where life comes from. And so it was this never ending stream of life. And I just dug it. I mean, I really got into her message. And then they're like, she's like, oh yeah, and I do it even during my my menstrual cycle. And it showed parts of the sweater were red, and everybody's like, oh my god, that's horrifying. And it's like, dude, I would totally buy that sweater. I would, although it's white, it wouldn't look good on me at all. But I would buy it because I liked the message that she was sending across, and it had like a spider thing happening too, where she was like a spider and she was constantly having yarn come out of her spider vagina. That's awesome. I mean, look, I would certainly wash the sweater before I wore it, and but would you bleach it? Let me ask you that, folks. Let me ask you this question. That's a white sweater, but it also has the mark of menstrual blood on it. Would you use bleach and force that to turn copper, or would you wear it as is? I don't know. I can't decide. But I'll tell you what. I know what I want for Christmas. I couldn't even get it out. I'll tell you what. I know what I want for Christmas. There, that's the way it would have been if it was clean. And now I can't stop down and say, hey, Lily, let's fix that. Let's make me sound better, because I can't. She's gone. She's on the phone somewhere now, negotiating with somebody over a fucking hat rack, whatever the fuck they need at that goddamn festival tomorrow. I am going to be there. Literally, folks, I have volunteered to be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you know what my function is? I'm going to just do whatever Lily says, because for 6 years, she's actually done basically whatever I've asked. So I can at least give her 4 days, right? I'm waiting for somebody to say no. Please, somebody say no so I don't have to do this. I know I'm showing up tomorrow and I'm bringing the catering, and then I got to go pick up stuff, and she might send me to go pick up coconut water. I don't fucking know, but it's important to me to do it because she needs it, man. Because I love her and she's all fried. You have no idea how fried she is, folks. I don't think she's sleeping. She's like shaking, and I'm not even joking when I say that she's getting all scared by noises. Like, she's sitting here and there'll be a noise and she jumps. She's all fucking ratty, like freaked out. Like, and by ratty I mean like, she's got her head in her hands and just staring at the ground, and she just looks like she's just thrown off. She's not Lily. She hasn't been Lily for like a month. And now she's gone. Now she's certainly not Lily. Now she's an empty chair. And who am I talking to? Nobody. Well, I'm talking to you guys, of course, but I'm also talking into fucking space. See, this is why I need her here. This is why I need my Lily. You guys ask. Some people are like, hey, man, did you ever think about doing the show alone or doing multiple shows, maybe when Lily's not available? No. Hey, when Lily gets sick and I don't do a show, here's why. Because it turns into this. It fucking devolves into me unleashing the bees. And when the bees have nobody to sting, they just fly in fucking circles and waste time. And that's what I'm doing now, baby. So I decided to buy the vampire fangs, and I actually told Lily I wanted to do it. So we tried to order them Wednesday last week when I did the podcast, and we were going to order them from Amazon, and she has Amazon Prime, so it's free shipping. And that meant I would get them by Friday, even with Thanksgiving in the way. Because, as you know, Amazon just fucking rules the world. They do whatever the fuck they want. So we went online and we found a bunch of bags of fucking vampire fangs. And it was only $50 to get like 150 of them, I think. It was like 30 in a bag or in 6 bags. I don't fucking remember. But by the time I got done dicking around and trying to order it and having it sent to my address instead of her address, because I wouldn't be able to pick them up from her on Friday and whatever the fuck, it was past 4 o'clock our time, which meant that we missed the Prime shipping. So it said I would get it on Monday. So she placed the order. And I'm like, dude, fucking cancel that order. I don't need a bunch of vampire fangs on Monday. That's bullshit. I need them Friday. If I don't have them Friday for the bit, there's no reason to have them. Unless I'm going to, save them for next year? That seems ridiculous. Because what if I'm not asked to be on next year? What if I'm busy? What if I've left? What if I've moved to a foreign country because I can't be accepted anymore on my own? I don't know why I'm the Count of Monte Cristo. Wait, did that happen to Count of Monte Cristo? Or is it the Man in the Iron Mask? I don't know. It's the somebody of something. That's who I am. Folks, I'm the somebody of something. And by fucking next year, I'm going to have 6 bags of fangs and be the somebody of something as I move to a foreign land. And that's all I have to declare. I won't take anything. If I move to a different country, if I move to fucking Australia or England or Italy or whatever the fuck, what if you know what? I may join some of my overseas listeners. Maybe I join Alex and Laura in Ireland. They said they've got a couch for me. No, they didn't. How about Lucy in England? She wants me there. How about Greg in Australia? He wants me there. Or our man Anthony in Australia. He certainly would want me to come to town. As I'm going to name check everybody, apparently. What about Carlos in Mexico? Mexico. God damn it. Oh, man. This is the show that should end with a gunshot, right? This is the one that absolutely should end with a fucking gunshot. So, we canceled the Fang order. So Friday, I actually had to work a double at my job, And but I wasn't at Podcastathon until after midnight, so that was fine. But I had to try to find. I still wanted to do the Fang thing, so I called around town. I called like Halloween stores because we still have those for some fucking reason here. But they wouldn't answer their phones. I guess they were closed on Friday. Hey, hi,
Hi.
you're back.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. That's fine. Well, you know what? Don't be sorry to me. Certainly apologize to everybody listening who had to listen to me and my bullshit.
Wait, I'll make up for it. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ho ho ha ha ha. How's that?
That actually sounded more realistic than the regular ones. Just, you know what? Do me a favor. Isolate those and just put those in every week. Yeah. Just fucking put them in every week. Then you don't even have to be here. I'm not even joking. Because now I'll just do the show and then you just go in and edit it.
I wanted to hear what you had to say, and now I have to wait.
Oh, sure you did.
God damn it.
Well, you don't have to wait. Let's listen to it in real time. And I'll still be recording. Jump back, let's play it, and I'll still record show. Let's do that. What if I live...
I can actually do that.
What if I live podcasted this podcast?
Oh, God.
It was like live tweeting it, but I listened to it back and I critiqued it as it was going on. That's a good plan. I like that idea. See, I am the man who comes up with those ideas and then they're stolen in 2 years, but that's fine. Someone will eventually come up with that. Because I come up with, I had like a beverage podcast. Now everybody's drinking shit on the air. That seems like a weird stretch, but I came up with a lot of ideas.
Was yours?
The idea, well, the name certainly of Pod Gods is mine, yes. And then but then two more capable people actually took it and ran with it.
I don't think they're near as funny. I think the Podgods promos are much funnier.
Well, the Pod Gods, because you know what, that was for humor, our guys. But these guys are actually taking on the world of podcasting and going ahead and reviewing shows, and good for them. That's how they want to do it. Our friend Gio, who's our man on the ground in Hawaii. Where is Gio these days? Is he in Minnesota? Chicago? Gio's a man of the world. He's a man of all people. He belongs to all nations. So I don't know. And then he's got his sidekick Gilligan. I think it's Gilligan. Is that who it is? No, it's Lax Dude. That's who it is. It's Gio and Lax Dude. I'm being silly.
I like Gilligan. That's funny.
Did he just die?
Is his name LAX Dude?
Yeah, Lax Dude.
Lax Dude?
Yeah.
Seriously? He calls himself LAX?
Yeah, I can't figure. Well, he's in fucking Canada, so it's nothing to do with the airport.
Oh, okay. I thought he named himself after a fucking airport. What a douche.
No, stop that.
Okay, then he's not a douche.
You're thinking of SeaTac Dude. That guy's a fucking scumbag.
So what did I miss on the show?
Oh, you know what? You missed a lot of
Give me
amazing
like a
stuff.
30-second elevator pitch of what I missed.
You missed Jar of Teeth. There you go. That's all you
That's
missed.
the name of the show.
Jar of
Holy
Teeth?
shit.
There you go. Write it down. Why not? She literally has a blank piece of paper in front of her. That's the first thing she's written down is Jar of Teeth.
That is not true. I have two other things written down.
Do you really?
The name of the show
Oh, good.
and 400 regs.
Okay. 400 regs. Oh, I forgot about that one. That's a good one. All right. I'm just happy to breathe now because when you're gone, I don't stop talking.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Really?
It's weird because I
Just gaze into the eyes of my naked person up there and talk to me there.
eyes. No, the glinting from your pierced painted nipples was blinding to me, so I couldn't possibly.
Painted nipple.
Yes. But yeah, no, because literally you'll hear it back. It's literally just me whining about how you're not here, and I have to fucking bury the silence.
Whining?
Pretty much 20 now, 25 of me just talking about how I can't fucking deal with silence, so I have to just keep talking. Really? We're there? We're there.
So did you tell any more of the story?
Which story?
Oh, there's no witch story.
Yeah, there are. Oh my gosh, yes there was. I told a story about a witch. I actually got up and I stood in the corner. My friend is dead. And then I cried into the microphone. Oh my God, I can't believe it's so amazing. Did you hear those noises? We almost had a ghost story here.
That was weird.
Lily left, and then I had to talk to David to talk to him about the artwork. I pitched him the artwork. We'll see what he comes up with.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I went to walk away while Lily did some stuff, and I went into her bedroom, and it was really dark, and I walked in there, and I heard noises, like a noise, like stuff ruffling, and I freaked out, and then I came out here, and I go, can you come with me for a second? She goes, yeah, and I go, in your room? And then she gave me the fisheye, and I was like, I heard something moving in your room. And so, like the true tough guys that we are, we tiptoed into the dark bedroom, and she had a curtain rod, and I had nothing but a handful of her jacket as I hid behind her, and we had to investigate the room and make sure nothing was in there or hiding in the closet.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't take the curtain rod for defense. I took the curtain rod so I could reach the light. Because the light is at the door. And I was like, it's dark. So I used the curtain rod to push it and turn the light on. I didn't think I could hurt somebody with that.
Wait, so you weren't even ready to defend us with the curtain rod?
No, you were the one that was supposed to defend us.
I was behind you unarmed. I was holding onto your jacket. Didn't you hear me whimpering? Didn't you hear that noise? Yeah, okay. I was sad and creepy and scared. Because I thought when Mom ran downstairs, you hear bumps in the house. You think there's monsters. There was a monster under the bed. I don't want to deal with no monsters. Which, by the way, was the original tagline for Ghostbusters. I'm really glad they did a rewrite on that. Yeah. Because Monster Busters doesn't make any sense. And poor Ray Parker Jr. Try to rhyme Monster Busters with something. I ain't afraid of no Monster Busters. Fuck. Get me another Huey Lewis album. I need more inspiration. He ripped off Huey Lewis for that song, right? Or he lost a lawsuit anyway. Because I Want a New Drug is the same song as Ghostbusters. Should have been I Want a New Monster.
What?
You don't know? Come on. Don't pretend you don't know that.
No.
Huey Lewis sued Ray Parker Jr. because Ghostbusters is I Want a New Drug. Boom, dum, ba dum, bow, bow, doom, dum, dum, down. It's the same song.
I never noticed that.
Nope. It's and so Huey Lewis won that lawsuit, and you can't change that. All right, so that is a deep Ray Parker Jr. joke. I hope anybody enjoyed it.
Oh my God.
You're the only one I need, and you can't change that. Oh my God, at Parkastathon, I gave away a signed Michael Madsen doll. I brought it in for auction. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, here. I just sang a bad song.
Wait a minute. Michael Madsen was there?
No. I had it.
I'm so confused.
Well, because you haven't been here. You've missed 20 minutes. You're coming in 40 minutes into a movie and going, what did I miss? You missed fucking everything. There's a cloud of bees with nobody to sting.
So you were at the Podcastathon.
Yes.
Catch me up.
All right. So I go to Podcastathon, and before I go there, I need to find vampire fangs. So Lily and I tried to order them, like I said, and then Amazon Prime couldn't happen. So then I called around Hollywood. I called like all these fucking Halloween stores and Party City. And I called Party City, and I'm like, dude, do you guys have vampire fangs on the day after Thanksgiving? And they're like, what? I said, I need those like shitty vampire fangs that you put in a kid's mouth. I mean, it was like so ridiculous. Because you know what I was trying to do was get the price down, like whatever the fuck they were. I just wanted all your leftover vampire fangs for like $1. That's all I fucking wanted. So I literally said, that shitty vampire fangs that are plastic you put in a kid's mouth? He's like, arr. And these guys on the phone are like, hold on. And I'm sure they put me on hold. And they're like, do you have any of those shitty vampire fangs you put in a kid's mouth? And he goes, arr. Yes, they're in aisle 6. So there's a big sign when you walk into Party City. It says shitty vampire fangs you put in a kid's mouth. And it says, arr. But they all had they had a few pairs. I go, do you have bags? They're like, no, we just have like a few. And I go, how much are they? They're like $1.99. I'm like, you're gonna fucking be kidding me. It's just burnt plastic shaped like a fang. Furious. So finally, I found the Hollywood Costume Shop in Hollywood, California, on Hollywood Boulevard.
Hollywood Toys and Costume?
Yes.
I love that place.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll tell you what, as many toys and costumes as they have in that shop, if they had a special sale on dirt, they would go out of fucking business by being billionaires. They would sell all, it's fucking grungy. It was awful. The ghost of Kurt Cobain flew in there and went, nah, not for me. Too grungy. And I ain't afraid of no Kurt Cobain's ghost.
Really?
Never mind. That's for somebody else. So it was a filthy place, and I had called them, and they said they had fangs. I said, how many? They got, we get like over 200. I go, how much? They're $1 each. I'm like, fuck, $1? So I showed up and I walked in. I actually left work. Like I was like, hey man, I'll be back. And if delivery comes in, give it to Cruz. I'll be right back. So I went down to Hollywood Toys and Costumes, and it's just, the people that work there are just pedophiles. I mean, that they are. Yes, they are. No, they're like, hey, can I show you a rubber hand? And then they put it in your pants. I mean, they're just awful. Yes, they do. They're terrible. Nobody deals with those kinds of toys and costumes and stuff if they want to sleep with kids. They all want to sleep with kids, all of them. You can tell they're kid touchers. It's awful.
None of them
Yes.
are. I know them. Stop
No.
calling them pedophiles.
No, they got hairy forearms and just grimy glasses. Ugh, didn't like it. Didn't like the whole atmosphere. So I walked in, and I'm like, dude, and just, look, if you can walk into an establishment, they're like, what are you looking for? And I go, vampire fangs. They go, oh, they're right back here. Like, everybody knows the fucking vampire fangs are. That's a terrible place to be. You don't want to be in there.
No, it's not. It's awesome.
No, fucking horrible. All right, so I walk in, and then they, and the worst part is, again, they're moving all the Halloween stuff out, and they're putting in the Christmas stuff. So all the Halloween stuff is in the back in the ghetto of the dirty store, and like all the fangs are in a cauldron. You know what I mean? They're in like this crazy witch cauldron. And they're all individually bagged, made in China, and they're $1 a piece. And they are the shitty vampire fangs you put in a kid's mouth. And he goes, arr. That's what they are. But they're $1 a piece. So I start counting them out, and I start doing the math on the joke. because the joke is what I want to do was it's because it's $250. If Smile Train gets $250, they can buy a kid a mouth. That's perfect. So that's the thing. One kid gets a mouth if they get $250. So the bit was I wanted to have 250 fangs because I was going to say that's because the whole bit was that it seems outrageous and that it seems like they're pocketing a lot of that money because I'll tell you what, I have found a way to help 10 times the kid, or no, 250 times the kids for 1/100th of the cost. And then I was going to dump out 250 sets of fangs on the desk, which I wanted to do desperately. But I could not justify paying $250 for the bit because I no longer have credit cards. Every dollar, literally, it's cash in and cash out for me. I'm a fucking cash enterprise. And to spend $250 on vampire fangs, I don't want to have that conversation with my accountant come fucking March. What's this $250, the Halloween toy and costumes? It was for a bit. Well, what do you mean for a bit? Well, I had to buy $250 of those shitty vampire fangs that go in kids' mouths and they go, rrr. For what? To dump them on a table and make a loud noise at midnight? Get out of my office. Not a conversation I was relishing. So I started counting them out and I started to do the math in my head and I counted 100 and I'm like, I could do 100. I mean, I can't spend $100 because I can't because I took a bunch of time off in November. I went to Green Bay and I was in Seattle a couple of fucking times and I'm like trying to do the math in my head and I'm like, dude, you live so close to the fucking edge now. So then I got down to 50. And again, I'm doing the math on the bit. So I'm like, you know what I can say? I found a way to help 50 times the kids for 1/5 of the cost. And that still worked in my head. And I'm like, you can't spend $50 because I would have spent $50 with you. Remember when we tried to order, it was like 180 pairs. But to buy 50 individual ones, I was just like, fuck that. I can't. And I also didn't want to give these grimy motherfuckers their money because I know they're just going to take that money and go to a schoolyard and put it under a box. They're just going to put it under a box with like some open snack cakes and try to snag a 3-year-old. If you go to Halloween Toys and Costumes, look around. All the mannequins of children are real children that they have raped and stuffed. It's a terrible place. I used to have coffee with the owner of the shop in Mohammed Atta. So I said, you know what? You can't do 50. That just and the bit kept getting less effective the lower I was cutting because I wanted the noise. That was what I wanted more than anything. I wanted to dump out 250 sets of fangs like fucking ping pong balls on Mr. Moose. I just wanted to fucking shower. I wanted to let it rain with shitty vampire fangs that you put in a kid's mouth and he goes, "Arr." So finally I had 50 and I go, I can't do 50. You can't. You just can't. I could, but I couldn't justify it later. So I went with 25. And I even picked up all 25 and dropped them on the counter to see what the kind of noise they would make. Pathetic, awful, no good noise whatsoever. But I could not bring myself to spend more money, so I had to buy 25. You're puzzled. What's your puzzled face?
Did you ask him for a discount if you bought a bunch?
No, because I don't haggle with pedophiles.
Idiots!
I follow the directions of the U.S. government. I don't negotiate with terrorists, and I don't haggle with pedophiles. And for that reason, I always had to buy lunch when I was with Mohammed Atta and the owner of that shop. Because they tried to negotiate a 3-way split and figure out the tip 3 ways, and I'm like, I don't negotiate with terrorists, and I don't haggle with pedophiles. This lunch is on me! So, take that. I could not negotiate with them. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just buying these. So, because I wanted to, because I'll tell you what, also, in the bottom of the cauldron, there were loose fangs. Like there was something, because they were all individually bagged, but then there were like loose fangs. And I wanted to say, dudes, can I just take these loose fangs for free? But I knew that would turn into a fucking mess. And again, I don't negotiate with fucking pedophiles.
Oh my god.
So I bought 25, which was $25 in tax. Awful. And then you got to go up to the counter and talk to those fucking guys who you know, like their hands just smell like Desitin. So that's a image. I'm not proud of that one. Desitin's a little young. That's my second Desitin reference of the week. I said it somewhere else too to someone. I don't know. Yeah, it is creepy. Well, again, you shop there, gets into the blood. So I bought the 25 fangs, and then I got them home, and I had to open them all like individually. I had to rip them open, and I just kept throwing them on the counter to try to make them as loud as they could. Like I couldn't figure out how to make them loud because that was the whole point, was the loud. I wanted the clack, the noise, just the sheer overwhelming volume. But it wasn't going to work. So instead, I put them in a manila envelope, and then I sealed it and I mailed it to myself. So I copyright this bit. Don't try it, folks. I own it. So I go to Podcastathon, and I'm watching it while I'm at my house after work. I'm watching it unfold. I was watching it, so I got to see some incredibly funny people, because again, they had amazing people on the fucking show, as they always do. But I could see Todd Levin, who's great. Dave Holmes was on just before me. But I was glad I didn't miss Paul F. Because Paul F. Tompkins is the funniest guy in the world. He and Pardo together are just ridiculous to watch. So he came out and he was so great. And it was at the Acme Theater, and you enter through the back. There's like a back door. Well, then fucking Paul gets up to leave, and there's a window. And all day in my head, I was going, I'm coming in through that window. I didn't know if I would fit through the window. But I knew Paul could get through it. So in my head, I'm like, maybe I'll get through it. And then I also shifted gears a little bit, where it was kind of a flimsy, it's like a fake wall. So you know exactly what I'm going to say. I wanted to burst through it like Kool-Aid. Like I wanted him to say Mike Schmidt and just be like, oh yeah, and just smash through the wall. How fucking amazing would that be? So that was my plan. I was like, maybe I can smash through the wall, or I'm going to dive through that fucking window. But then Paul F. leaves through the window, and I'm like, God damn it. Fuck. And then he came out to sing with Scott Aukerman. Scott Aukerman was doing his bit, and I was looking around my house for stuff to give away, because they were doing this thing for, they were auctioning stuff off for Smile Train, and we were told, it was funny, we were told in the paperwork, bring a CD or something to auction off, and then when I brought my CDs, Jimmy's like, we're not doing CDs this year. I'm like, you said it in the paperwork to bring a CD. I feel like an idiot. But instead I had a Mr. Blonde, a 12-inch Mr. Blonde doll, still in the box, never opened, signed by Michael Madsen. Wow. So I brought that to be auctioned off, and it got $100, which was kind of cool. Yeah. So I grabbed that, but as Scott Aukerman was on, then he brought Paul F. Tompkins to sing with him. And they kept saying they were behind on the show. We're way behind. We're so behind. So Paul and Scott are singing, and I look at my clock, and I'm supposed to be on. My call time was 12:15, because I was supposed to be on at 12:20. But they were behind. But then I look at the fucking clock. It's like 10 after 12. I'm like, dude, I don't care how far behind they are. You still got to drive to Hollywood and get in the fucking building. Get out of here. Because then I didn't know if somebody left or somebody got sick or somebody bailed. What if I was next? They're going to fucking call me. Who smashes through the wall like Kool-Aid? You know who does? Kool-Aid. He actually fucking smashes through the wall. Oh, yeah. So I hop in the car and I hustle down, and I make it in time. Dave Holmes is on, and I walk in, and they're like, everybody was very nice to me. Paul and Scott were still there. I caught them on the way out. But then there were other people hanging out. Caleb's backstage, and Kyle Dodson is there, who's Pat's nephew, and Rick was there, and a guy named Chris was there helping. And there's just a ton of, they got guys backstage. A guy named Rich. I'm trying to name check people because I don't want to be a dick. But so I get in, and Dave Holmes is on, and I look at the list. I'm next. It's a good thing I got in the fucking car. Like they kept talking about how far behind they were. They were behind by 15 minutes. Years past, they've been behind by like an hour and a half. So I was going to go in through the window. So I grabbed Kyle, and I'm like, dude, I got to go in through this window. I go, how do you think I should do it? Because I go, I can't smash, because I looked at the wall. It was like wood. I'm not smashing through the wall. I would have knocked it over. I would have never smashed through it. And I don't want to fucking ruin the joint. I mean, I did, because it would be funny and nobody would ever forget it. But with my luck, I would knock the wall over. It would crush Pat Francis and he would die. And the next year's Podcastathon is raising money for an entirely different charity. So I go, well, I'm jumping in through the window. I told Kyle about it. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, but dude, I got to climb through. I go, that's going to be stupid. I said, maybe I could just fucking propel myself through it from the ground. But it was about 4 feet off the ground. And I'm still, even though I'm fucking vascular and yoked, well, I'm vascular, certainly not yoked yet. But, and I'm still heavy, but I could get through the fucking window. I figured. Well, but jumping from the floor, I didn't want it to look awkward. I wanted it to be fucking in your face. I didn't want to just shimmy out of the fucking window. You know what I mean? I'm not sneaking in to steal your valuables. I'm bursting in to kill everybody. Again, I'm not Alexander Monday. I'm a giant pitcher of fucking flavored beverage. Oh, fucking yeah. So Kyle, I'm looking, I go, I need a chair. Because there was a ladder. I go, first I need a ladder. So we went to get a ladder, and I go, fuck, dude, I can't jump off a ladder because then there's no leverage. So then we grabbed a chair, and I'm standing on the chair outside. Literally, while Dave Holmes is being interviewed, I'm crouched on a chair behind the window. And I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. But I know that if I push off the chair, it's going to go flying. And with my luck, I would catch my neck in some sort of electrical cord and fucking hang myself. And I haven't even carved Schmitty was here in the upper banister. So I'm on the chair, and Kyle's with me. And then I go, fuck this, Kyle. I can't jump off this chair. And I go, we need something like stable. We look around, and there's a desk underneath. I go, what about this desk? Or I apologize. Kyle said, what about this desk? And I go, dude, let's try it. So we went to lift it, but it had wheels. I fucking rolled it over. I was like, this is gorgeous. And it had me right by the fucking side of the window. So I'm outside the window, and I'm crouched down on the desk. And Dave Holmes finishes, and they go, and he walks away, and I'm waiting, and I'm just fucking waiting. Because I don't know what's going to happen. What I wanted to do was grab the top of the wall and fucking Tarzan it and kick the window open with both feet and then land on my feet when I jumped in. But I can't grab. There's nothing to purchase with my hands. Like, I can't grab high enough and then I'm going to hit my face is basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit my face on a 2x4, which would be fun, but not that fun. It would be memorable, but not that fun. So I'm crouched on the desk, and then I'm like, well, I'm just going to punch open the thing, but then you can't punch it open and then climb out. I mean, you've got to explode on the scene. Like, I wanted it to be a combination of like Swashbuckler and Chevy Chase. So I'm waiting, and I hear him. And again, I don't really know the schematics of where everybody is. I don't know anything. I'm behind a fucking wall. And I just hear him say, we close it up every year with our good friend, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Schmidt. And people clap. And I'm outside the window, and they're waiting for me to come in from the back. I know they are because I know what they're doing. And my thought process is like, just fucking do this. Literally, in my head, I went, just fucking do this. So I took a breath, and I just punched the fucking window and dove. Like, I didn't even, in one motion. It wasn't like, boom, jump. I just dove as hard as I could out the fucking window. And I have no idea what it looked like. I have no idea. All I know is the sound I heard. I just heard boom, and then because I heard myself hit the ground. And I landed on my head and my shoulder and my knee because I went down in a pile. And it was just, but it happens in like 2 seconds. Like, it's, because again, there was no hesitation. There was just a beat, and in my head, I'm like, just fucking do this. Boom! And I fucking punched it open and dove out. Just like, it was like, you know who I was? I was Jimmy Cagney at the end of Public Enemy. When they open the door and he's all beat up and he's tied and he just fucking falls face first. I just fucking burst through the window and landed. Boom, boom. And all I heard was noise. And I heard people go yell and scream. And then I sat up and I looked out into the crowd, and I just saw people's faces like, what the fuck just happened? Which is exactly what I wanted. And then I looked around at Pat and those guys, and Pat and Jimmy are like, just like, because again, you know what's funny? Like, I wanted to try to catch them off guard too. Like, I wanted them to be like, what the fuck? But they were just like, yeah, there's Schmidt coming through a wall. Like, they expected it. They almost fucking expected it. I was pissed. So I just fucking landed in a pile, and I stood up, and I smoothed my sweater, and I just kind of like looked around like, oh, and Jimmy walked up and shook my hand. He's like, and it's so funny. He can't laugh or can't be like, that was great. Because he probably didn't think it was great, and he didn't think it was funny. Because they were all concerned that I was dead. But he legitimately walks up to me, and he puts his hand out, and he just goes, and you can't see my face, but imagine a face of like tisk tisk, and he just goes, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm fine. I can fall out a window, it's fine. And I shook his hand. And the crowd was, they were clearly clapping and cheering, and it was fine. And then I walk over to my chair, and I said hi to Pat and Matt and stuff, and I sit down. And they're like, are you okay? And I said, yes, I'm fine. And they go, what? Why? And I'm just like, what? And you know what's funny? Here's the thing, folks. I honestly thought that was going to blow the place apart. And I thought, I'm like, well, I can surf that for 5 minutes. Like, we'll talk about that for 5 minutes. The thought process, everything I just told you, I would tell them. Like, it would just be the thought process of why you did it and the creation of the bit and who thought about it. And instead, everyone in the audience was horrified and thought I was dead. Like they all cheered and kind of clapped, and then they immediately got super quiet, like they were wondering if I was okay. So then we're talking, and then it turns out my hand is bleeding. Like I didn't realize it. On the way out, I caught my hand, and it was ripped, and it was bleeding. Like my hand, blood is running down my hand. And then part of it's just like, you're bleeding. You're aware of that? And I'm just like, no, I didn't. Well, that's fine. I go, and I just like licked the blood off. And then my friend Andrew Thompson then is like, don't. And it was so funny. He hit his face. He goes, don't lick the blood. Like he's just like horrified because apparently saliva is an anticoagulant. Because I'm not a dog. I don't fucking know. I don't know the plan. But the whole show I just kept sticking. So then I get like a paper towel and it was covered in blood by the end of it. And I'm just licking the blood off my hand, and he's just like, Andrew's horrified. But then we talked and we had fun, and it was a great time, and I was just proud to be a part of it. And Wayne Fetterman was there doing music. So the reason I bring it up, I was mentioning earlier, I gave away the Madsen doll, and then Wayne started to play Steelers Wheel, Stuck in the Middle with You. And he's like, you know the words? You want to sing it? And he kept playing the organ. So I kept waiting for everybody to join in because I'm not going to sing it by myself because I'm terrible. I mean, I will clear a fucking room with my singing. But usually they do that where they'll sing with Ackerman. They'll all sing together like, whoa, no, how to, and it's like we'll start clapping because I used to do it with them too on the show. But then when none of them joined in, finally, like the third time he tried to start it, I go, are you joining in, Jimmy? And he goes, oh, no, this is all you. So then I sang like one line terribly. And he goes, no, that wasn't you really singing. That was like a bit, right? That was like a character. I go, no, I'm awful. I go, I was hoping we could all jump in because I'm a terrible singer. I go, did I try to be bad there purposely? Yes, but I didn't have far to go. But we had a great time, and they raised so much money. It was amazing. Go get money. Oh, so the fangs. So then I sure enough, I did the whole speech about Obamacare, and I pulled out the middle envelope, and I dumped out the fucking fangs on the desk. And again, people in the audience, they hate that I make fun of Smile Train. I think like they get so fucking weirded out, and it's just like, what? I'm having fun. I go ahead and buy teeth for everybody. That's great, but I'm just joking. I reserve the right to make fun of fucking everything.
Yes.
You know what I should have done is brought all of those guys from Hollywood Toys and Costumes over. They adopt all those kids with cleft palates and take them to their homes. Pedophile sees a kid with a cleft palate. He's just like, oh, there's a garage door that's open. Let me pull in. Yeah, that's right. God damn it, that's funny. Now we're talking. So we got to talking on the podcast-a-thon, and I brought out a razor. I did a bit there. I brought out Madsen, all these different things. I brought out the fangs. I dumped them onto the desk. It did not have nearly the effect that I wanted it to because there weren't enough of them. But still, it was enough to pull. It was enough to hold it up and then go like this to Jimmy and just go chomp, chomp, chomp like that. And he's just like, yeah, I get it. I know what you meant. Because again, nobody thinks I'm funny. Certainly not at 1 in the fucking morning. But here's a story I was going to tell at Podcast-a-thon. But apparently, when I dove out of the window, I knocked it out of my own skull. I knew I was supposed to be on at 12:30. So I had to work a double. And I was at work at Travis Barbecue. And I was on my phone. I was hanging out. I was taking deliveries. And then there was some downtime. It was kind of slow. And some woman comes in the back room, and she's just like, oh, my gosh. I'm like, what's up? And she goes, you didn't see? And I go, no. And then she got called away. So I'm like, uh-oh, did something bad happen? So one of the bus guys comes in the back, and he's like, hey, man, you know Jay Leno? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, he's out here, man. He's eating. I was like, no way. So I walk out, and right at the center table, there's Jay Leno with like 6 other guys.
What?
He's just there. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and he's eating dinner, with his friends. No Mavis. Which is a shock because he's always with Mavis. He's never with Mavis. So he's there with all of his friends. And I see him and, he's eating. And it's that thing where there's a celebrity in the place and there's kind of a vibe and there's a buzz because we get it all the time. I mean, the Red Sox came in and fucking when they were here playing the Dodgers, all of them came in. It was fucking Ellsbury and Ortiz and they brought Scott Boras and fucking Napoli. All of these guys came in to eat. So it's just this vibe in the room. People come there and it's just this weird thing. So Leno's there eating. And, some guy's like, oh, yeah, I hear he's a really nice guy. And I go, he is. I go, he's super nice. I go, I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, I went to Las Vegas. And I've told this story on here. I was a kid, I went to Las Vegas. And the legend was if you called Leno, he would talk to you. And he might even go to lunch with you because he was bored. He was a comic. So I called him and I got left a message at his room. And he actually called me back. I got home from Vegas and he left a message on my voicemail. And I saved it forever. I probably still have it somewhere on a microcassette. So I told the guy that story, and he's like, really? He called you? I go, yeah, he called me. He's like the nicest guy in the world. So I'm sitting there, and I think to myself, you know what? He is the nicest guy in the world. I'm going to make him go to Podcastathon with me. I'm going to go up to him. I'm going to tell him it's a charity thing, day after Thanksgiving. All he's got to do is come in and wave. But I'll bring him in like Carson. Like, I won't even call them. I won't even warn them. Because, again, I love surprises. And how fucking great would it be if I just walked in and literally just walk in and interrupt whoever the guest is, and they'd be like, dude, why the fuck are you? You're supposed to be here at midnight. Yeah, but, I brought a friend. He wants to say hi. And I bring Leno out on stage. How fucking great. So I'm consumed. I'm immediately consumed with the idea. Because he's really nice. I could get him to do it. It's fucking 2 miles from the restaurant. And I'm not going to fucking Rupert Pupkin him. That's the thing is, in my head, I'm like, will he get in my car and come with me? That'd be fucking weird, a weird conversation. So, Mike, I like your car. What the fuck are we going to say? So, but I don't care. I know he's going to do it. I'm going to ask him. It's going to be fucking great. And then in my head, I'm like, well, fuck. You're working, man. Like, and he's here. Your job is not going to be thrilled about it. And I thought about it, and I wavered, and I kept pondering it, and he's eating. He's out there with his friends, and I'm like, well, you can't do it, dude. You can't, because, again, you're working. It's going to look bad for the company, because people come, the celebrities don't want to be fucking bothered. So I go into the hallway, and there's a restroom, and there's a men's room, and it's only one man at a time, one guy at a time, and one of his writers walks up, and I assume the guys he was with were his writers because they looked sullen and destroyed. So this guy walks up, and I'm like, hey, I got a question. Can you talk to Jay? And he goes, oh, he's a really good guy. He's really approachable. And I go, okay, I just want to make sure. I go, obviously I'd wait till after he's done eating. But yeah, I wanted to ask him something. He goes, oh, he wouldn't mind at all. He loves talking to people. I said, great. So now I got the go-ahead from this guy, who I can blame. Like if I walk up and if it breaks bad, he said I could. But now I've got a plan. Because again, all I can think about is how fucking amazing it would be to walk on with Leno, like Carson style, on the Podcastathon and have him wave and say, hey, smile, train, and teeth, and whatever, and then he leaves. How fucking great. Just a moment. I love moments. I dove out of a fucking window for a moment. So I'm there, and I'm thinking how I'm going to approach him. And I'm not sure, but I'm just going to walk up. But I shouldn't just walk up because of work. And then I made a decision. I made a fucking executive decision in my head, folks. And yes, this will probably tell you all you need to know about me. And by the way, if you know me, you know that this was my decision. I decided that even if I got fired, I was going to do it. It was worth it to me for the bit. It was worth it to me for the moment to do that. Plus, I didn't think they'd really fire me. But if they did, it would be worth it to walk out with fucking Leno at Podcastathon. Just for the faces of the people, be like, how the fuck did Schmidt get Leno to come here at 7:00 at night? Why the fuck did this even happen? It would just be so weird. So I made the decision. I go, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care about any consequences. I'm just doing it. I'm going to ask him, and then I'm going to do it. Because I would have to leave and bring him over there. So obviously I'd have to take off from work. But we were slow anyway. So believe me, I had a plan of attack. I had it all fucking worked out. I actually went to the other driver and said, hey, look, if I had to duck out of here for like an hour, could you cover it? He said, yeah. Everything was in place. He finished his bill, paid it. They finished eating. They're sitting at the table, getting ready to go. And I said, that's it. I'm going. He's 10 steps away from me. And fuck it. I'm in. So I walk. And I take 1 step. I take 2 steps. And in my head, I go, how are you going to get him to go? You got to tell him it's a big thing for charity, that last year they raised over $100,000. It's on the web. And it's with Jimmy Pardo, a comic who's actually done the Tonight Show. 3 steps, 4 steps. Because again, my head works fast. I'm going through all this, trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to fucking say. So on the 4th step, I go, yeah, Jimmy Pardo's the host of it. He's actually been on the Tonight Show. He's done stand-up. You actually are acquainted with him. You know him. And they have all sorts of guests that have been there all of the time. As a matter of fact, Zach Galifianakis is there. Pat Oswalt is there this year. John Hamm has done it. 5 steps, 6 steps. It's been amazing. Everybody that he's had on, he had, Tom Dreesen. You know Tom Dreesen. Tom Dreesen did it last year. He came in and told great stories about Sinatra. It was so fun. 7 step, 8 step. And Conan O'Brien has done it many times. I can't tell Jay Leno that Conan O'Brien has been on the fucking show. 9th step. I can't tell him that Jimmy Pardo works for fucking Conan O'Brien. Jimmy hates fucking Jay Leno. I get to the 10th step. He looks up at me, and I just look at him, and I smile, and I turn around with one motion and walk right the fuck away. I didn't say a fucking word. The 8th step is when I realized Jimmy Pardo hates Jay Leno. He wants nothing to do with him. He works for Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien, Andy Richter is in the building at that moment. If I show up with Leno, who knows what the fuck happens? All day I spent fucking plotting and planning as I'm seeing there. He's eating. I'm going to quit my job. I'm ready to do it. It's going to be a fucking moment. The 8th step, I went Conan O'Brien. Oh my God, you can't. 9th step, you can't do that. Fucking hate Jay. Oh my God. 10th step, he looks up. I didn't even say hi. Turned around in a fucking heel and just walked away. Literally like marched up like the Nutcracker and spun around and walked away. Like I was pacing off the fucking steps to get the Leno. That's what I looked like I was doing. Completely forgot. Completely forgot about it. Was just so consumed that a huge celebrity was there that I could bring him in. God damn it. Part of me wishes I didn't remember. Part of me wishes I didn't remember and I would have brought him anyway, and then he would have walked on stage just to see Pardo's face like, what the fuck? Because Pardo would have been gracious and very nice because, again, it was for charity and all that stuff, but it would have been really fucking weird and awkward and bizarre. It would have been awesome, but it would have been fucking weird. I'll tell you what, the only thing weirder than me walking out with Leno at fucking 7 o'clock and seeing Jimmy's face is if I somehow shove Leno out the window at fucking midnight. He just lands in a fucking pile of chambray and chin. Fuck yeah, next year. That's happening. Fuck a jar of teeth. I am dumping out a whole jar of fucking Leno on the desk. You guys can get me at mikeandmikeschmidtcomedy.com. You guys can be my friend at facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. You can find our friend David Hernandez at facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. If you want him to do any artwork for you, some Christmas-themed artwork perhaps, or anything like that, go ahead and contact him at artbydmh.com. That's ARTBYDMH.com. Our friend Lily Von Stupp is available on Twitter, many different Twitter accounts. You can follow her at twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, twitter.com/MNTs, and twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest. But if you'd like to write her a personal note, only to have her walk away from the computer and ignore it for 20 minutes, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Here comes Schmitty Clothes, here comes Schmitty Clothes at the Joe Business page. Bodies of hotties in their underpants, it's fun for every age. Box set downloads every episode, hey, let's get in a fight. Eat some yogurt and punch a wall, cause Schmitty Clothes comes the night. Here comes Schmitty Clothes, here comes Schmitty Clothes at the Joe Business page. He sells a shirt with your dirt to help show off your rage. Tweaked audio's got sweet-ass earbuds, what a beautiful sight. Use their watch to decorate your crotch, cause Schmitty Clothes comes the night. Here comes Schmitty Clothes, here comes Schmitty Clothes at the Joe Business page. Hear Schmitty rap on a song that Max wrote, busting out of the cage. Get a print of podcast artwork, color whole black and white. Mike Maxinelli will sign that thing, cause Schmitty Clothes comes the night. Here comes Schmitty Clothes, here comes Schmitty Clothes at the Joe Business page. I bet you didn't know that the bees get out when Schmitty takes the stage. Peace on earth will have to wait after Schmitty comes alive. Let's give thanks to the big angry, cause Schmitty Clothes comes tonight. Cause Schmitty Clothes comes tonight.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs in Santa Monica and Vine. But before I do that, how about that Christmas stuff, huh? Again, more stuff that just showed up in my email box from Dave where he's like, hey, yeah, it's Christmas, so here's this stuff. Yes, of course, thank you for my annual genius. Santa came early again. But you will be hearing that all December. And you may be hearing some different stuff, too. I don't want to give it away, but we just heard a little Elvis. and of course the theme song. So I hope you're into it, because I know I'm into it. And even if you're not into it, who cares? Get into it. But I want to remind you folks about the 3 clubs. And every Monday night it has the Monday Night Teas. And I happen to know the producer of that show. It's a famous show. It's a hot show. It's an amazing show. It's one of the best naked shows in town. Perhaps, you know what? I go back. It is the best naked show in town. No perhaps about it. No almost. Or one of. It is the best naked show in town. And I know the producer of that show. Her name is Lily Bunched Up. And guess what? She happens to be here right now. Hey, Lily.
Hi, Michael.
Well, you've been in and out. I want to make sure that everybody knows you're here. It would actually have been funnier if you did not answer.
I paused, but I was like, I can't.
Well, if I had to do this part with you gone, that would be really a drag. I would not be good at all. I'd be terrible at it, quite frankly. Well, I can't. When you're going to hear the thing back, let me apologize for anything that I may have said that is going to upset you in some way. Let me just say that.
I won't listen then.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
La, 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 la.
I think I talked my voice into oblivion. It sounded good earlier, but now it's like, hi, how are you? Other than fried, other than on your last nerve, other than completely ready to just jump off a
I'm
bridge.
exhausted, and I'm trying to figure out how I can just not do anything else tonight at all.
Yeah, well, you got to put this up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But luckily, there's a lot of just stretches of one take, so I think you're okay. There's not a lot of editing to do, I don't think. But who knows? I actually cut out all that stuff where you were gone. I don't want anybody to know it. And cut out any references to the fact that you were gone. So that's a little homework for you.
No, I'm not doing any of that.
Okay, well, I'll look forward to it.
Edit it together. I seriously may just post it raw.
As it is?
We'll just call it as is.
The week Mike raw dogged everybody. I like it. It's a good plan.
Just out of curiosity, we can't really call the show I Don't Haggle with Pedophiles, can we?
Yeah, we can.
Seriously?
If that's the name, if you think it works,
Damn it, that's awesome.
then do it. Let's put it this way. I wouldn't want to call the show I Do Haggle with Pedophiles. But if I'm drawing a clear line in the pedophilic sand, then I say, let's do it.
All right, I think that's the name of the show.
All right.
God damn it.
Yeah, fuck that. Take that, pedophiles.
Funnier in an email.
They have to know. No, I'm gonna if you call it I don't haggle with pedophiles, then I'm gonna call the email 400 regs.
Okay.
So
Right after the show.
we will.
Hi, how are you? The Monday Night Teas is awesome.
Great. And you did not have a show this week. It was dark, but you had a show.
Well, yeah, we had a show, but we didn't have a show. There's a little a show that the name of the show just blanked on me.
I know it, but am I plugging it?
Why
Did
not?
Because I didn't see it. I don't approve of it, and I just want to make sure.
Don't plug it as you saw it or you didn't see it and it was good. We'll just talk about it factually as it happened.
But did they do you right?
They did me amazing.
Then I don't mind plugging it.
We got a call, or I got a call from Allie, who is the bar manager essentially, and she said that there was a show premiering on Monday night on Adult Swim, and they wanted to
Called Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah, and they wanted to use the 3 clubs for their premiere party, and it premiered at 10:30. And she said, so we're going to rent it out to them, but I don't want to put you dark. I suggested maybe they book your burlesque show, and they're interested. So I called them and I said, hey, this is what we can do. We can do an all cartoon themed show, so it'll be geared right towards what, and they were like, we're in. How much? Let's do it.
Nice.
And so they booked the entire show. We did it an hour early for them. We went straight through with no intermission. It was a hard, solid hour. It was
I'll bet.
9 acts, plus Buster Balloon doing his giant balloon number, which is amazing. So 10 full acts. I dressed.
And bang, 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 right? Just yeah.
Yeah, we had Wonder Woman, Aqua Woman, which is our Aquaman version. Batman and Robin had this great homosexual love affair. It was awesome. We closed with Jezebel Thunder doing Storm.
I've seen Batman around. It's Tito Bonito, right?
Yeah. It just, amazing stuff all
Cool.
the way through. It just was really a great show. We're actually bringing it back in January or February.
As a regular show. Oh, so people can
General
actually buy
public,
tickets and see it.
just Such an amazing.
Ooh, I hate the general
I love
public.
the show. Huh?
I hate the general
I
public.
hate general public too.
Let's cater to real
so
people.
They did us really well. They were really nice. They treated us great. They invited us to stay and hang out. They were absolutely nice. I got to meet a bunch of the voice actors. They were just great people. And I've actually watched it. It's funny.
Rick and Morty.
I did enjoy it.
They have a pretty cool billboard on Sunset. The 3D
ship
thing.
Crashing into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
Pretty nifty.
But they threw a wonderful party, and they're great people, and they treat their staff well. I found out that 2 people I know actually work on the show.
Okay.
And I think it's Soundsonic. Now I forgot the name of the company. I feel so bad. Sunshine. What the hell is it? It
Don't know.
is not that. I thought I had it right
Lily's reaching into her bag and pulling out checks. She's got like 90 checks that she's going through because they cover all of the fucking festival stuff.
Ah, damn it doesn't have the master company on it. It's
Okay.
like Sun something, but they're a great company and they were just awesome to us.
Cool.
And just they're a great party for their people. It was really nice to see.
Good.
And couldn't be more complimentary about the burlesque show. I think we picked up a few fans, so that was nice.
So in January, February, people will be able to buy tickets and see this
Yeah,
actual
we're gonna
show.
do the whole cartoon show again.
Great. I'll be excited. I'll be there. This week, I think there's something going on.
Monday night is the closing party of the Hollywood Burlesque Festival.
Exactly, which is starting on Friday.
Friday night at the Hayworth Theater.
Yeah.
We've got 2 nights of competitions and awards. Richard Simmons is giving one of the awards away for us. We've got dancers from all over the country. Roxy Delight's coming in to perform. It's a fucking amazing weekend. Sunday night we have the Hollywood Film Strip. We're showing a movie about burlesque dancers, neo-burlesque dancers, and then we're spinning wheels and dancing to whatever song it lands on. I mean, it's all fun. It's fun, fun, fun. Girls, 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 boys, boys, boys. I think we have almost 100 performers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's going to be great. And I will be there every night.
Yes, I'm very
yes,
excited.
I will be there on Friday, certainly, and then Saturday, Sunday. I will not be, I'll come to Monday's show, but I won't be there during the day. But but I'm excited. Should be a lot of fun. So tickets are available now at HollywoodBurlesqueFestival.com. Go to brownpapertickets.com for all the tickets you would need for Monday Night Tease or the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. Are there tickets available for every night?
Yes. The Friday, Saturday is a package. Sunday, Monday are individuals.
Okay, so you guys can come if you want to come to the Sunday show. You can do that and see the wheels and the fun. Friday, Saturday, you can see the competitions. You can come out to the party on Monday. All of these tickets are available now at brownpapertickets.com. Just search Hollywood Burlesque Festival or search Lily Von Strup's name, and you'll be able to get tickets for that or for the Monday Night Teases that are upcoming. Again, join the Facebook page for the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. You get all the updates and all the pictures. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of photos and things like that. People streaming stuff. Professional photographers. They got a red carpet. They got a banner, and I can't stress enough, Lily has put so much work into this. And first of all, I need to tell you, thank you for taking today, all your Wednesdays, obviously, but today especially, because I know it is crunch time and you're getting down to the final, not even the final. You wish it was the final, but I mean, there's so many things to finalize and take care of, and more things keep popping up, and you have to leave to put out fires. And when it's your festival, when it's on your shoulders, you are the one who has to answer to everyone. And for you to take the time and give me your day today was amazing. So I love you. Thank you so much for doing that. I do appreciate it, and I know that this is going to be a huge success. Thank you and thank you for involving me. I'm just always happy to be a part of it.
Thank you for being involved, and thank you.
Sure.
It takes a village, people.
Oh, all right. Takes yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. So again, tickets. And by the way, if you guys are there, come say hi to me. And like I said, we can.
HBFTix.com has all the information.
HBFTix.com, and that's TIX.
Yes.
HBFTIX.com has all the information you would need, all the tickets that are available. I don't know if there's any VIP packages left, but then again, remember, you can come and see. I'll be there, say hi to me, and if you want to hang out afterwards, I'm willing to do that, or whatever you want to do. So come on out to the show, have a good time. It's going to be amazing. All 4 nights. If you can only come one night, that's fine. If you can come to 2 nights, come to Friday, Saturday. But if you can come to all 4, I'll be there all 4, and so will our friend Lily. So come on out and get some tickets to the Hollywood Burlesque Festival, the first ever of the annual Hollywood Burlesque Festival. It's going to be amazing. Go to facebook.com/the40year-old-boy and become my friend while you are there. Well, you don't just become my friend. You have to ask to be my friend, and I have to say yes. It seems weird that you would just become my friend. Let me throw this out to you. Join the Westside 86 Jokers page. That's the fan club page. Now, last week there was a thing where I said that the 700th member was going to get a prize. And then there was a thing with the 700th member, and then a bunch of other people joined, and I felt like a heel. So here's what I did. If you joined last week, not this week again, folks, I'm sorry, the offer is done. If you join the Westside 86 Jokers page now, that's great. I would appreciate it, and you'll be a wonderful fan club member. If you joined after I gave the 700th person offer, go to the page and click on the pinned post at the top, because I announced that basically everyone gets a download if they want one, if they already have one. And I listed the names of the people. I think there's 20 people who joined, and those 20 people are eligible for a download. Some people have contacted me, and I've already sent them their downloads. Some people have contacted me and graciously said they don't want them. because they want to pay for them in the future or whatever they want to do. That's really nice. But again, please know that you can get it and just donate later or whatever you want to do. That's fine. But I'm, in the spirit of the thing, I'm giving these away. It's not, I wasn't expecting anything in return. So other than you joining the fan club page and being active, that'd be kind of cool if you were active on it. So thank you to everybody who joined. And thanks. And I had nothing there. Literally my brain fried on me. Do me a favor, leave so I can think of something to say. Not you people. Don't leave. Don't go. I need you here. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com for all of the fun stuff that is involved with MikeSchmidtComedy.com. I don't know what that fun stuff would be, but if you go to the Joe Business page, there's all sorts of me for sale. All sorts of parts of me for sale. You can get Your Dirt t-shirts. Your Dirt shirt. That's available now. Get them in time for Christmas, folks. They're red and white like Santa. They're red and white and black like Santa. Oh, Black Santa. Bam, ba-lam. That was a hit song back in the 70s, Black Santa, by David Hernandez. Does anybody remember that? Maybe?
I do.
Okay, good. It may make an appearance this month. Who knows?
Oh, I hope so. I love Black Santa.
So do I.
Bam, ba-lam.
So the Your Dirt shirts are available. There's artwork available, and that will be signed, sealed, and delivered. It's yours as long as you pay for it. It'll be signed by Lily, signed by me, signed by our friend David Hernandez, the artist, formerly known as Dave, formerly known as Mex. Tweakedaudio.com/40 is a huge supporter of the show and always has been. Go ahead and buy some earbuds or something from them. That would be cool. So there's artwork. There's earbuds at tweakedaudio.com/40. There's Your Dirt shirts. There are the Schmitty Comes Alive downloads. There are the For the Life of Schmitty downloads. There is year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5 of this podcast available individually or as the UN of Evil box set. Go ahead and grab one of those for Christmas. Remember, you can donate to the show in the upper left-hand corner of every page of MikeSchmidtComedy.com. There's a little Schmitty with his pocket out. Click on him, and you can donate, a one-time donation if you'd like to send a random amount. But if you'd like to donate monthly, there's a $2 a month, a $5 a month, a $10 a month, or a $25 a month donation. Go ahead and choose one, and choose wisely. And then what else is on that page? There's one other thing I was just thinking of to tell people about. There's the Big Angry CD. Let's talk about that for just a second, folks. The AV Club, which is the Onion's media arm, they named the top 10 comedy albums of the year. And though I did not make the top 10, I was name-checked in the honorable mentions.
What?
That's right. Someone said Mike Schmidt's The Big Angry, and he said that my comedy veered more than storytelling. And here's something that's incredibly flattering. He said, very much like Mike Birbiglia or Paul F. Tompkins, which made me fucking ecstatic because you know how I hold Paul in such high regard, and I think Mike does amazing work. So, and the guy said it's definitely worth checking out, which is nice. And, it gave me a shot in the arm because, the CD is the CD and it's been out for a while, and you get that thing where, yay, a CD. And then you're like, I have a CD. And you want to try to get more people to hear it. Well, I think that can only help, the thing at the AV Club. And it made me kind of reinvigorated me a little bit and makes me want to send it to more people and maybe to XM and Sirius and let them chop it up. And, because I always felt like, it's got 2 tracks and they have to be heard as a whole. And now it's like, I just want fucking people to hear it, because then they'll hear what I do and that'll be great. So the Big Angry CD is available now through my website. That's an autographed copy, or you can wait to see me live, and I'll get it to you. And you say, when will I see you live? Well, I have nothing to announce just yet, but I am talking to theaters and trying to figure stuff out, and hopefully doing a lot of stuff in 2014 and getting out on the road and doing some things, coming out to see you folks live. Oh, that's what I forgot. At the Joe Business page at MikeSchmidtComedy.com, there is a pennant on the wall that says Amazon. And if you click on that, you can come to the Mike and Lily and David store, the 40-year-old boy store. And we've got some stuff in the store that you might like because it's stuff that's relevant to the show or me or Lily or David. But at the same time, I haven't stocked it with a lot of stuff because I got to sit down and really put some links in there and do some stuff. So what you can do is look through the stuff in our store, but then also just go to Amazon right from that page and shop, and I get credit for it. And because I'm a licensed Amazon affiliate guy. So if you shop through my page for Amazon, I get credit and I get links and I get some cool stuff and some money, which was great. So that's another way to help the show. So if you want to do that, that would be great. And everybody shops through Amazon because now they got drones and they don't fuck around. So that's how I want to be in business with folks. I want people who are going to fucking have the military bring the package to you. That's exactly how I like to do my business. I need a fucking Navy SEAL team to wade through your child's fucking kiddie pool and bring you my CD. That's how it's got to work. So click through the Amazon pennant and then click through to the store. Look at the stuff that we've listed. Lily's going to actually, because of the festival, I haven't infringed on her with this, but I'm going to let her build her own page, like where she puts up things that she recommends.
You're gonna let me build it? Thank you.
Well, no, it's built just, your products. Because, I mean, David did one.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to do one with my stuff, and then you do one with your stuff. Because I don't feel comfortable just picking. I asked you for a few things. So right now you and I are combined. But you can actually make Lily's page and my page and David's page, and you guys can go
Gonna be
through.
all sex toys.
Oh, well, perfect. So then, wait a minute. I'm going to do all sex toys. Hold on a second.
Damn it.
We'll have to get together and talk about sex toys and then figure out who likes what. Well, let's try them out. Why don't we do that? Why don't you and I sit down? And we'll get a rabbit and we'll get that vibrating egg thing. And apparently these are all things that help you. Wait a minute. What are the ones for me? Let's get a fleshlight. Yeah, we need a fleshlight. I love the fact both of us were like fleshlight, which is my favorite song by Parliament. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm a little creeped out by the fleshlight. Not really creeped out. The mouth one is creepy. The vagina one is also creepy. The fleshlight's creepy. What am I going to try to justify it? I'm not saying don't fuck a flashlight, but I'm saying really think about it. Think what you're doing. Think what you're doing before you stick your dick in a bank container. You remember when you used to go to the bank drive-thru and you had that fucking pneumatic tube where it would take the fucking deposit? Yeah, think about putting your dick in that and then think twice. But actually don't think twice. I apologize. Just think once. And then put your dick in it, because that's what I do. That's my policy with everything. I think once and then put my dick in it. Well, that was my policy for a long time, and then I met Karen. And then, of course, I had the 20-year thought, and everything was great. But now I'm back to the...
You're a vile one, Mr. Schmidt. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Schmidt. Given the choice between the two of you, I'll take the seasick crocodile. You're a foul one, Mr. Schmidt. You're a nasty, nasty squirt. Your heart is full of unwashed socks, your soul is full of dirt, Mr. Schmidt. The three words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote, you're dirt, dirt. You're the rotter, Mr. Schmidt. You're the king of sinful sots. Your heart's a dead tomato squash with moldy purple spots, Mr. Schmidt. Your soul is an appalling dump heap, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable. Mangled up and tangled up knots. Nauseate, Mr. Schmidt, with the noxious super nos. You're a crooked jerky jockey and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Schmidt. You're a three-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce.